Hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Believe it or not, I am ready to start. At long last. I put these updates on in the chat about 40 minutes ago, saying that I was going to start in a few minutes. And then my laptop and my microphone decided to fight each other for like a half hour for no reason that I am consciously aware of. But maybe the angels wanted to test my grace under pressure. I think I got like a B. That was a little nerve-wracking. Alrighty. So let me know if you can see and hear me okay, please. Oh, thank you very much. And yes, as my darling husband pointed out for me, this is why I should be setting up all my technical stuff hours in advance. But I like working on my treadmill, and the lighting is better here, so I work there before, but I'll work it out. Is what it is. So, I do have a lot of good stuff planned for today, and I actually have internet service today, which is, such a nice thing. Last healing of last set, the October twin set healing 2 of 2, we had electricity but not internet for like 33 hours, because a lot of houses around us didn't even have electricity for some huge amount of time. I think it was like 42 hours or something, but we had electricity the whole time, so that's good. Oh, yay. Hello, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll read those comments soon, but I do appreciate the good vibes and greetings. Always like that. If you're watching and you, if you want to give this live stream a thumbs up, here, let me give you a thumbs up as well. There we go. That thumbs up is just for you. And your thumbs up will help the live stream and or video so that maybe somebody new could find it, or maybe somebody who subscribes to me but the YouTube algorithm doesn't love me enough, and so they not suggested my videos. So anyway, thumbs up help. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on today. I do have good plans that I would love to explain to you. Okay, so today. Well, okay, boo. I'm skipping ahead of myself. So this month's theme is discipline, but not in the mean parent spanking their kid kind of discipline way. The discipline as in self-discipline to like kind of get yourself to do things and not just lollygag, or not just, to focus on your goals and to work towards them through consistent action, and to be able to get over that hump of like resistance of like, well, it's not fun to do that, or, oh, I'm tired, or oh, whatever, so to be able to have that discipline. I mean, yeah, sometimes you do need to listen to your body and your body's just too tired. But other times it's not that, it's just resistance, or, your mom and your third chakra or something. And so, we're going to work discipline this month. And it is really priceless. I sort of got on the discipline train, I mean, like conceptually a couple months ago, because I thought about it and I was like, wow, if you have the ability to work towards your goals, like long range goals, even, especially really, even if they're hard, like, okay, like I'm 55 years old, okay, and my muscles up here are not all that nice. And when I was 22, I had muscle tone everywhere, and I did nothing to earn or deserve that muscle tone. It was just the gift of youth bestowed upon me. Right? But now they're not as bad as they were, but like I didn't really realize how much like muscle tone and stuff just sort of, it's not there automatically by default as you age. And so I didn't know that. And so lo and behold, I finally started noticing my upper body in the mirror, and I was like, Jesus, I look like a freaking refugee. Like it was, you could see the bones like way too much. And so to be able to be like, okay, it's a long range goal and it's embarrassing. I would love to just ignore the entire situation in a way, but to be like, okay, you want me to clear the energy, I'm going to do what it takes. I don't care how long it takes. Even if I give up 5 million times, I'll keep going with it, but to get this nice, again, like nicer than it was at 22 with doing nothing. But that's what I mean, is that discipline of long range plans to get through whatever it is, the shame, the guilt, the denial, the avoidance, the whatever, the fatigue, the this, the that, the lack of knowledge of where to start, all that, to just get through it all and just keep going with that long range goal. That's what I mean by discipline. And it's priceless because it means you can achieve like a lot that you definitely would not otherwise achieve. For sure. So that's what we're working on this month. And it doesn't have to be, physical upper body strength for 55-year-olds. It could be some other long range goal that you have, or it could be that you're not even really consciously clear about the goal. Like maybe sort of the gist of it, but you don't know the specifics of how to make it happen. So conscious clarity will be something that we work on today, I know, and probably on and off this month as well. So it's for the whole month. We're working discipline, consistent action, working towards and achieving your goals. So that's that. And sometimes we do work goals. Like goals is 7th chakra in the top of the head. So sometimes we work goals, but in more of a like, just get your energy right and it manifests kind of way. But there are plenty of goals that are more demanding, that require you to do work that is unpleasant. Like, I mean, sure, you can, meditate until poof, all your avoidance washes away and all your body shame washes away, or all your, whatever focus baggage washes away. And then, oh my gosh, it's just easy to do, But I think discipline is for the other 99% of the time, where it is not always pleasant to work towards a goal. And to have the ability to, work on making it more pleasant, but also just keep working on it, even if it's not pleasant. So I'm excited. I'm thrilled about this. So there's that. So then now finally specifics of this today. Okay, so today, how are we going to work towards that, of helping with discipline, consistent action, and working towards achieving your goals? It's funny because it's just, I think, one of those times where I swear we have a lot that's working on the goal of, the theme. But if you just sort of surface glance at what we're working on today, it looks like I'm blowing off the theme. But I swear I'm not. And it will help with the theme. mean, the angels say it will help, and it makes sense once you think about it. But okay, so the first thing is clearing grief, and we did some clearing grief. I believe it was in the very last healing, the one that I had to videotape myself of, and it's in 2 videos. So if you look on my channel under live, on the tab that says live, you see all the live streams, but you won't see the videos from the last healing because I made 2 videos because we didn't have internet, right? And then I uploaded them as soon as we had internet the next day. So those you have to look on the videos tab, and then you'll see 2 videos from the last healing. And they worked out kind of in an interesting way, because the first video is the concepts and then the 5 essentials. And then the second video is all the stuff after that, the theme related, clearing and healing and repairing and stuff. So there's that. But okay, so my question to myself is, did we clear grief in the last? Yeah, we did clear grief. Towards the very end of the last healing. So anyway, this time how we're going to clear grief is sort of more of a nod to traditional Chinese medicine, how you might clear grief, but of course the energy healing sort of Janet angel-y kind of way. We're going to do the 2 meridians that are most associated with grief and releasing grief. And those are a pair. They're a yin-yang pair of meridians. The lung meridian and the large intestine meridian. So the lung meridian starts somewhere around here. And you can't see because I have a giant hoodie on, but so somewhere around like here-ish, I would think. That's the lung meridian, and it goes down your arm to your thumb. That is the lung meridian. So it starts here and then goes down to your thumb. And then that one actually flows into its yin-yang pair, which isn't always the case that they flow into the pair one. But anyway, the next one is the large intestine meridian, which we have done before, which starts in the index finger, and it flows through here. This is like a sort of a well-known point right here, large intestine 4. You know how like sometimes people need this like chubby area right here? That's the acupuncture point, large intestine 4, which helps with 1.5 million things. But anyway, so it starts here and then goes through large intestine, the 4th point, large intestine, and then it continues up, and that's the one that goes and it crisscrosses and goes up it goes to the side of the nose. So and the other one goes from the other index finger all the way up to let's see. And I didn't get the exact crisscrossy stuff, but I mean the exact, like little bends and turns, but that's the basic idea. So one starts right here, goes to your thumb, and then one starts right here and goes sides of your nose. But anyway, those are the ones that I'm describing the lung and large intestine meridians for clearing grief. So that's the point why we're going to do it, is to clear grief. The angels just said it's going to help. It's going to help with the theme, we promise. And it did turn out that when I was reading the surveys from the last healing, a couple people had significant improvements, and some of them knew it was because clearing grief helped them a lot, and some of them didn't realize it. But I could tell. So how about that? I mean, I guess you would. It's not totally shocking when you think about it, because if you're kind of flattened from your grief, like even just subconscious grief, then it can really, kill your motivation and a lot of your sort of joie de vivre and all that stuff. So anyway, that's that. And we won't just heal those 2 meridians. We'll unblock their w.c.aura, which I actually find is even more beneficial than just working the meridian. Maybe equally. So each of you have 15 w.c. auras. You have an astral body aura, a physical body aura, and then you have 15 w.c. auras. And all those 17 auras, right? Astral body, physical body, and then 15 w.c. auras. That's 17. So all those auras, they all go all around you, in front, behind you, above you, below your feet, like a giant bubble. But there's really 17 bubbles within that, right? And so in the same space. So if you just imagine just the lung meridian w.c.aura, if you have problems with that meridian, generally you'll see like big energy blocks, in that meridian, in that w.c.aura, or it'll be even torn open with a giant rip, and then you have to repair it and then unblock and get everything nice again. And then that usually helps the meridian a lot. And then you can do also, of course, direct healing on the meridian. So that's the idea. So we'll be working directly on those two meridians, but also on their w.c.auras. And for those that don't know, and I apologize to the veterans because they've heard me explain it a million times, but w.c.auras, so that's spelled w.c., right there, w.c. is a traditional Chinese medicine concept, and it's a type of qi, type of energy that you have that is your strong boundaries energy. And that is just a standard traditional Chinese medicine concept. But then the fact that you have 15 w.c. auras is something that angels taught me. So your acupuncturist my acupuncturist, she kind of was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. That makes sense. But it's just not strict. It's like they don't teach that in Chinese medicine schools. Not it's just something the angel showed me. So anyway, that's what we'll do. We'll work on those two meridians and their w.c. auras in order to help people to clear conscious and subconscious grief. And it's typical that most people have uncleared grief to clear, even if consciously you don't feel like you have an issue with grief. Just because, in so many past lives, you may have like lost some people in your life, but then there was so much going on, you just didn't have time to process it. Or culturally, maybe your whole culture wasn't good at processing grief, or just people the same gender as you or the same religion as you didn't have good skills processing grief. So then it just kind of gets repressed and stored away and carried forward into future lifetimes. So that's why you might have a whole bunch of it to clear. But, we'll do healthy and gentle, so it just clears and keeps clearing. And typically, just a heads up too, and again, veterans have heard this. Well, I've said it a million times, but sometimes people only hear it like eventually when I say it, like the 20th time. But grief, if you consciously feel grief, typically that's because it's not releasing well. If it is releasing well, your grief, then typically it's extremely mild. Like you might sense it, but it's not debilitating in any way. If your grief is debilitating, that's because it's not releasing. It's like stuck, and that's why you feel it in that such a giant way. So releasing is always the key for grief. Keeping it flowing out of you. So like you could have, say you went through a big loss, and sometimes it doesn't bother you so much, and then other times it just really, really does. That's when it got triggered and you're not unable to release. And so it's like this big traffic jam. But you can always clear it, keep releasing, and then it'll feel very moderate and mild again. Okay, so that's that. Clearing grief through meridian and w.c. work, w.c. aura work. So the next thing is Okay, so unblocking your sleep slide. Your sleep slide is a connection that you have from your seventh chakra and your creative rings going up to the astral. So it's like a pathway that you take to go to the astral when you go to sleep at night, or whenever you go to sleep, when you take a nap, whatever. But so you could imagine it like a green and gold, slide or escalator up, but then when you wake up, you take it back down, right? And so you want to unblock it both ways. Sometimes baggage only impacts you on the way up, like making it harder for you to go back to sleep. And sometimes the baggage only impacts you on the way in. So like you're unable to bring in certain knowledge that you have on the astral because you have certain blocks, and it just, you're coming in, but you have to leave that knowledge behind you on the astral. And then you come in, you wake up. So you want to be able to bring in as much conscious knowledge as is beneficial to you. Say about what, the details of how you work on your goals, or, stuff like that. So we'll unblock it both ways, but especially on the way in. So you could bring in, for example, levels of discipline that maybe you've already achieved on the astral, but you just don't have when you wake up. Like when you wake up, you're kind of like unmotivated and unfocused. So we're gonna unblock both directions to help with conscious awareness, and also, the theme, which is, discipline, taking consistent positive action, working towards your goals, achieving your goals. All right. Okay, so the next thing is about focus, being, like conscious awareness. And focus is kind of a, it's something that people do grasp, that it's really good to have. The opposite of focus would be maybe being distracted, unfocused, scattered, things like that, where you just, you're sort of like, your mind is sort of a ping pong ball, and you just go back and forth and get sidetracked on different things that aren't that important. So the ability to zoom in and zoom out of your focus, I'm kind of using a camera term with that, or like a flashlight term for that. Like you can, sometimes with a flashlight, you can focus the beam of the flashlight, or you can make the beam really wide. Oh, it's getting really, really windy out. So if the internet goes out, don't worry, I am safe, and I'll just make videos and upload them when I can. But just so you know, looking really rainy and really windy right now. Do. So anyway, speaking of focus, so you need both, though. The ability to zoom in on, like, say, one task that's maybe time sensitive, you have to get it done within the next hour or something, and then zoom out sometimes too, to be able to, like, think of more like the big picture, like where you want to change in your life, consider multiple factors in your life as to what's contributing to your stress, like that kind of a thing. So the zoom out is more like a considering multiple factors, having more of a big picture view, right? And then zooming in is like laser focus on one task. So I was looking at that, and you can have that, the ability to do both. You ideally want both for everything. So like my husband and I have this good example where with house cleaning, like, I'm very laser focused on like one thing at a time, whereas he sees the big picture much more. So like if he cleans, And he does clean more than I do, for the record. Thank you, dear. Much more. But when he cleans, he will clean, entire several rooms at once, yada, yada, yada. Whereas when I clean, it might be just the dishes in the sink, or it might be just this one thing. I'll put it away that's really needing to be put away and it's been there forever. It's like I'll just, and then I won't do the other stuff. Like maybe someday, but not right then. I'll just be like, okay, don't have a lot of time, but I want to do that. Whereas with my husband, if he starts on that, it ends up being he'll clean 3 rooms of the house, which is like half our house. So it's good to be able to choose and adjust, so like if you only have 5 minutes, you zoom in for your cleaning. If you have an hour, you zoom out and consider what's more important and maybe do a couple rooms, like, so that ability to zoom in and zoom out. And sometimes you can see, if you look, like, oh, okay, somebody had that ability to zoom in and zoom out with their focus when they were like 1-year-old and 2-year-old, but then they took on a lot of baggage from their parents and then they could only zoom out. So then it's like it eventually makes you kind of unfocused then, because you can't like prioritize and pick one task and really, push on that one task. You're always thinking of like multiple things at once. So we'll clear baggage, including energy that other people dumped in your space, but maybe you also just have, personal baggage that causes you to not be able to zoom in and zoom out in regard to all your goals and your discipline and working towards your goals. So I hope that makes sense. But it's about focus. But it's kind of like a fine-tuning of focus so that you can think about your big pictures sometimes and then think about the specific one thing at a time stuff. So that should be interesting. Let's see. And then the fourth thing that I wanted us to do today. Okay, to be at peace with external lack of peace, meaning like you can clear baggage and heal yourself to the point where you are much less disturbed when other people around you are angry or other people around you are fearful, or the world has a lot of conflict in it, or the world has a lot of cruelty and viciousness. You have your bubble, right? Which is technically 17 bubbles, right? And your groundings and your whole bunch of meridians and whatever, right? But, if you don't, it's like a good skill to be able to really be aware of and moderate your inner climate, within your space, and not have it be so drastically influenced by the moods and emotions and whatever, and the actions or inactions of the people around you and society around you and your country and other countries, blah, blah, blah. So it won't make you not care, but it just means that then you have more of your own discernment and your own free will and less stress. I hope that makes sense. So, for example, somebody in their survey, they mentioned, their husband was getting angry a lot lately with them. But some people have spouses that just get sad a lot or get anxious a lot or whatever. And sometimes it's with them, at them. Sometimes it's not, but so it's really common, because, people go through stuff, everyone has their own emotions. Everyone has their own mental challenges, whatever. And so it's just good to work that so that it doesn't tank your day if somebody else is having a bad day. And again, that actually may make you more compassionate towards those people because your day wasn't ruined by being around them. So, because sometimes if you don't have those boundaries and you haven't cleared the baggage, and so then if, Joe Blow is mad at you, now you're having a terrible day, you might really resent Joe Blow, right? But if you can clear your baggage and heal and get to a point where Joe Blow can have a bad day and be mad at you, and you're just able to see like, wow, he's got a lot of repressed anger and his mom keeps whacking him, so all his chakras are damaged or whatever, like just kind of understand that he's got his own thing. And right now he's decided that it's all your fault, but you're not taking it on, then I think you're more likely to have compassion for him and just realize like, maybe I'll ask the angels to give him a healing. Angels, can you please heal Joe Blow? So I hope that makes sense. So be at peace with external lack of peace in other people or groups of people or cultures around you. Another example that I noticed when I was reading surveys was somebody's mom was freaking out at them because as they get more empowered, their mom kind of loses a key purpose in her life, because this particular mom has a lot of fear, and she saw her role as being her daughter's protector. So as her daughter becomes much more empowered and has much stronger self-esteem, then she's not needing that protection from the world from her mother, and her mother's not handling it well, to put it lightly. So again, can you be at peace with the lack of peace of people around you? Because sometimes that's really the kernel of strong boundaries. Like say you have a pissy sister, right? And as you get more empowered, she feels insecure because she always thought that she was better than you. And now it's hard for her to convince herself of that because you're doing well, right? And so she's whacking you a lot, right? She's upset. She's mad at you. She thinks, you're the problem in her life. She's throwing energy at you frequently. If you can be at peace with the fact that, she just has some self-esteem issues and some identity issues and repressed anger issues, then it's easier. You can save your strength and work on, flow and non-resistance. And so the tears aren't as deep that she's able to make. And so then you just have that extra energy to repair even subconsciously. So it just doesn't impact you as much. So so it's not just about being peaceful. It's also a strong boundaries issue. It also really helps with strong boundaries. So if you have someone whacking you a lot, this is something you could work on in addition to repairing all the damage that gets created. If you work on being less resistant, more, at peace about their freak out, then it saves you a lot of energy, and that flow strengthens your aura a lot. Your auras a lot. So that is the self-defense aspect of it. It helps your strong boundaries because a flowing aura is a stronger aura. Non-resistance, all that, inner peace, that helps your flow. And flow makes you stronger. Okey-doke. So that's what we're working on today. Because some people get so flattened by either the punishment from somebody they know and or their own subconscious grief, they just don't have the energy left over to work on their own goals, right? So that's why it's like, we're helping you to work on your goals, but we need to do it by helping you to get better with releasing grief and helping you to do all these other things. Zoom in, zoom out, bring in all the good stuff when you wake up and have your inner peace and your flow and your strength. So that's the idea. So I am going to check comments. If you did want to say hi, say where you're viewing from, what the weather's like, you're welcome to do that. And after I do chat comments, then I'll do 3 minutes of quiet, and then I'll start the healing. And during the healing, except for the first minute or two that I'm quiet, after that I will talk out loud and say what I'm doing as I do it. So it's like a walkthrough. Basically, you could use it as a walkthrough if you want. And it's an all levels walkthrough. So even if you're a newbie, if you're motivated, you can get a lot of interesting self-healing walkthrough out of it. If you're advanced, there should be some thought-provoking good stuff too. Okie doke. So thanks for everybody's comments. That also, for some odd reason, makes the algorithm think that the information is much more worthwhile if people comment. So somebody says, can see and hear you. Glad to watch live tonight. Yes, not like last time when I didn't have electricity. When I didn't have internet. 50 degrees in DC, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Dark and dull autumn night. Somebody says, hey, Jana, I can see and hear you from sunny Las Vegas. 75 degrees Fahrenheit. That sounds nice. 75. Man, that's like a summer day for us. That's funny. So it says, Janet was thinking of you this morning. From, you're mentioning your name. Las Vegas, Nevada. And then nice weather report for Las Vegas again. 78 degrees and sunny. Well, hello to all my Las Vegas people. So this is, how did you know, Janet? I'm working on my discipline. Well, yes, it's a good thing to work on. Your angels probably knew that was going to be the theme. So then you heard them. So the angels figure out the themes. I help a little. And then the angels already know the themes. And then they let you in on it. That's, I think, how it works. If you want to see the upcoming themes through next month, you can look on my website, jwhealing.com. Someone says, hi, Janet. We can see and hear you in Chicago. 57 degrees Fahrenheit and clear skies. Oh, that's nice. I would take that. So this is a cute cattail made an appearance walking by. How cute. Yes, I'm surprised he didn't type on the keyboard as he walked by. That was Felix, my husband's kitten. They came out for a brief moment, but then he brought him back into his study to babysit him away from my keyboard and my lights. He likes climbing inside the light box that I'm using and knocking it all over. So that doesn't help. Someone says, excited for conscious clarity work. Yes. Well, thank you for your survey. When people fill out surveys for the healings, then I review them as I plan the next healing. And sometimes as I'm reading, the angels are like, that should be a part of the next healing. So somebody says, my acupuncturist helps me with depression. Yes, I bet. Nice. Someone says, that's fascinating about the lung meridian for grief. Yes, and if you're wondering, you can just Google, stuff like that. Like what emotion, or you could say, what emotion is associated with this meridian, or what emotion is associated with this. You could say like what meridian is associated with grief. So you can go backwards and forwards on it. I've been working lung 4 recently because mine on my right hand is so stiff and painful. Excited for this too. I think you mean large intestine 4, right? Because if it's on your hand, because lung starts here. And so that would be 1 right around there. So lung 4 would probably be somewhere around the inner elbow or the bicep. But large intestine 4 would be right here. So I think that's what you meant. You meant to say LI 4. Were you just testing me? Excited for this too. I am too. This is Hey Janet, can see and hear you from sunny San Francisco, California, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. How nice is that? I would take that. Take that in a heartbeat. We probably would live in California, but the property costs were a lot higher. That's why we live where we do in Olympia, Washington. It's sort of undiscovered still. It's in between Seattle, which is, high prices and very known to be a nice city, and then Portland, which is also high real estate prices and known to be a super cool and funky city. So then we're in the middle between those two, and which is the state capital. So it's got some good extra services from that, and whatever. But we were able to find a better deal. Well, plus, I mean, the Angels just said you guys should live in Olympia, Washington. So that's really why we're here. But logically, it kind of makes sense too. Someone says, loved the peace topic. Yes. Busy season at work for me. So there is a bunch of people triggered plus mine. Yes. Feels like a madhouse at times. Yeah. So that'll be good to work that. Yeah. Inner climate versus external climate. A lot of people don't realize that that's even possible, which is interesting. It says, hi, Janet, reporting from Riyadh. Hello. At 17 centigrade. Let me look that up. So 17 centigrade would be like maybe 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. So that's very, very cool and reasonable for you. That's nice. But I guess you said winters are cooler for you. 3:16 a.m. here. Oh my goodness, I'm keeping you up late. Well, you can go to sleep if you want. Also happy to report I signed a new job offer. Congratulations on your new job. Let's do some confetti. Yay, new job confetti. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Maybe that'll be a thing. When anybody gets a new job, and if you put it in the chat, I'll do a new job confetti for you. Yay, congratulations on your new job. Woohoo. Alrighty. Okay, that's nice news. All right, so now we will do the 3 minutes of quiet before the healing starts. Yay, indeed. Yeah, I like those little things, those little flying emojis that you can do in the chat. I'm doing the heart one right now. Yay, and confetti. Yay. Smiley face. Okay, great. So now I'll be quiet for 3 minutes before I start the healing. I bought a timer and I forgot to start it. Does anyone know how long the live stream has been going so far? A really pretty timer though, isn't that pretty? I think the colors show up properly. Oh, you know what? It's the setting where it's like the colors keep changing. Yeah, well anyway, it's cool. Colors keep changing. There we go. Keeps changing. But I stopped the timer by accident. So yeah, if somebody knows how long we've already been streaming for, that would be what interesting for me. But if not, oh, live stream has already been going for 44 minutes. Wow, 40. So time flies when you're having fun. Also, when you're trying to get ready. All right, now I'm really gonna shut up. Thank you for the time check, though. Okay, thank you for waiting. So to be clear, who am I healing during this healing? As I'm live streaming right now, I am healing the people that purchased this as a set of healings on my website, jwhealing.com. And they purchased it before it sold out, and that's why I'm healing them. But if you didn't purchase this healing, you could still watch and heal yourself, follow along, use it like a walkthrough and heal yourself as you watch. If you are being healed by me because you purchased this set of healings, you could heal yourself at the same time. A lot of people like doing that. Or you could just, clean your house or take a nap or be with your kids or do your job, whatever you need to do. And later, of course, it will be saved as a video, and it will I'll make little video chapters within a day or a day and a half. So the whole thing, it'll be easy, and there'll be a summary in the comment section. So sorry, that was a big explaining. That was so that was just explaining who I'll be healing in this live stream. Okay, so now we can do. So I thought this would be fun to do. Let's ground, and then also we'll unblock tree trunk areas, which we haven't done in a while. And that's above your head. Your aura is above your head, unblocking there, and also major joints on either side, like shoulders, hip joints, knee joints, ankle joints, all the cool joints in your feet. Just, to the extent that's healthy and gentle, but unblocking all that. It's a very fun way to get more present. So let's do grounding first. Just, make 2 big groundings. You can remake them, get rid of your old ones. Make 1 big grounding for your physical body and your physical body aura, and then 1 big grounding for your astral body and your astral body aura. And make the groundings wide as all your auras, and wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Wide behind you, in front of you, yada yada. And then you make a caveat in front of you of both of those groundings, and use gold light from your hands to unblock and wash everybody out. Melt, like baggage that got stuck halfway down, just melt it away with gold light. So gold light, you have gold light, you can generate gold light with your hand chakras and your fingertip chakras. And so with your intention, you set those energy centers in your hand and your fingertips to metallic gold color, so that as they spin, that's the energy color that they're generating. And so use that gold light to unblock your groundings, especially in the back of your groundings. A lot of people, they're very front focused. So the back, even subconsciously. So try to balance that out when you meditate and clear, unblock the back of your auras, unblock the back of your groundings. You can be literally more centered. Wash out the back of your auras, wash out the back of your groundings. Light, get everybody out of there. Gold light, not only is it good for repairing and unblocking, but also it's kind of like bug spray for invasive beings. Like invasive energy, invasive people too, but invasive little spirits and stuff. And obviously you're a giant eternal soul, so no need to be afraid. But these things just sort of get in the way of your repair process and your unblocking. So it's nice to just get rid of them, right? So gold light, you can use your intention so that when you're combing through your everything, all your auras, all your groundings, your physical body and your astral body, that you're using the quantity of gold light that is enough to be like spiritual bug spray, to like get rid of all the invasive energies. So they have to just like leave, you know, so you get so much more present because you're more flowing and unblocked, and they just can't handle it anymore. There's no more baggage. There's not enough baggage for them to hang on to anymore. So they just pop out. And it's gold light, so it doesn't harm them because gold is a healing energy. So everybody wins. There's lots of gold light, and use a concentration enough of gold light that it just moves everybody out as you're combing through your auras, all your chakras, your groundings, physical body and your astral body. All right, so that was using gold like bug spray, which is kind of interesting. So I'll put it in there. Mm-hmm. That was, we were using gold energy like bug spray to comb through your aura. So now we'll do the tree trunk stuff. It will unblock your tree trunk areas. So tree trunk, you know, if you imagine a tree trunk, it's like this thing that goes down and then it branches out towards the bottom of the tree. There's the root flare, right? If it's not buried too deeply, which it shouldn't be, you should be able to see a root flare for a tree and see the, you know, the beginnings of its roots, right, above ground. So that's the idea. If you could see invasive energy that's kind of plugged into these areas, it might come from above, like a tree trunk, and then it plugs into one or many of your major joints on either side of your spine, your shoulder joints, your hip joints, your knee joints, your ankle joints. So you just imagine an unblock up here, because again, if you melt the blocks, then there's nothing for invasive energy to hang on to. So just unblock above your head, up here, anywhere your aura is above your head. Melt the blocks with gold light. And then work on all your tree trunk areas, right? Shoulder joints, hip joints, knee joints, all the little joints in your ankles and your toes, your feet. So you can imagine the blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of in your tree trunk areas, and just move those blocks out, and you can melt them in place. You melt them after you've moved them out, or you can melt them in place, right in place. So just run gold light through above your head and through these major tree trunk areas in your physical body and your astral body. Again, you could imagine that healthy and gentle, you know, the amount of blocks in your tree trunk areas that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, and just use gold light, loosen up those blocks, move them out. You could melt everybody out of those blocks first. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these blocks? Deep breath while your angels do that. And then you could just blow up the blocks. That's another option. So, I think that's good enough. We did your grounding and we did your tree trunk area. So just breathe, take a couple deep breaths, breathe into those major joints that we just worked on. Shoulders, your hips, knees, your ankles, your toes. All right, good job, good job, good job. Woo! Oops. Oh, that was interesting. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Yay! Good job, good job, good job. Righty. Okay, so all 17 at once, which of course I already said is astral body aura, physical body aura, and 15 auras called w.c.aura, which are your strong boundaries energy. So they're all around you, right? Like big giant bubble that you're inside of. And you can imagine them all out in front of you and comb through them with your hands and gold light from your hands. And you want to check intuitively, visually, with your hand, feeling, however you are able to do it. Check for rips. If you have any rips, then go ahead and do aura repair. If you have no rips, well, good job. You could just work on unblocking with lots of gold light. Right? But we're going to go ahead and repair all the rips at the same time that you may have in all your auras using composite copy technique. So you imagine a rip, you imagine an image of a rip, and you say with your intention, okay, this represents all the rips in my 17 auras, right? And then you use sticky gold wax to clean out this rip. So that's gold light from your hands that with your intention sticks to everything that's not you and forms a lump. So fill it up with sticky gold wax, have it stick to everything that's not you, which would be invasive beings, invasive people, hard objects that got thrown at you. Just have all that be a lump and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, fill it up, lift out all the junk at once. Angels, here you go. And get the gold light as deep as you can in there. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you please recycle them? Some deep breaths while you do that. So then it starts to grow back. Gold light until it's all repaired. Again, you could say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way, can you recycle them? Okay. So then you can you probably just repaired all your rips, but you may have one or two left over. So do the process one more time just for the leftover rips. So again, you create an image of a rip and you say with your intention, okay, this represents all my leftover rips that I have in my 17 auras. And then do the same process. So sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk, angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all that junk, angels, here you go. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair? Get the gold light as deep as you can in there so that it grows. And then you can check the outer surface of all your auras and just see if you have any leftover little tiny leaks. If you do, maybe you missed some hard objects. So you got to take the hard objects out. Angels, here you go. And then use more gold light so that they all repair properly. You may have an invasive being in the way. So angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? And double check your grounding, unblock it again, comb through your grounding. And again, use so much gold light that it's like spiritual bug spray, right? So it just sort of makes it impossible for, well, or a lot less likely for people to be able to hook in or hang on and invasive beings to be able to hang on. Just use so much gold light through your groundings. All right. You can redo your gold buffer zones. Those are big gold flowy force fields that you can make and attach to the outside of your astral body aura and your physical body aura. Create them, and if you need a video so that you can learn how to do it, and then you know it, so you can do it quickly. That video, if you search Janet Wright gold buffer zones, you'll find it on YouTube. Okie doke. Good enough. We could do gold mesh spheres really quickly. So gold mesh spheres, there are 3 of them inside each w.c.aura, and they generate a lot of gold light, which is why each w.c.aura is flowy and filled with gold light. And so, but even if you repair the rips in the w.c.auras, for some reason, sometimes those gold mesh spheres don't regrow, and because there's still some scarring. And so then it's like you have the aura there, but the gold mesh isn't there generating gold light. So it's like there's an absence of gold light coming towards whatever meridian is supposed to be nourished by that aura. So long story short, you can just go through all these auras with gold light, and your intention is that the gold light is repairing any rips in the gold mesh spheres, so that each w.c. aura can generate lots and lots of gold light and send it towards your physical body to nourish your meridians and heal them up. All right, good enough. Okay, so your creative rings are 3 gold rings above your astral body head, 1, 2, 3, and they generate gold light. And that gold light creates a nice gold buffer right here, and also gets sent down to nourish all your major chakras along your spine. So you imagine a copy out in front of you of your 3 gold creative rings, and use lots of gold light to, again, like spiritual bug spray, to get rid of any energy that's not yours around these creative rings. And have the gold light melt away any cords from invasive people or invasive beings. And the creative rings and the round openings of chakras have flaps, and the flaps stick open if the chakra or the creative ring is irritated. Because like cords are coming in, sending energy that's not yours. And then that makes the creative ring puff out and the flaps pop open. And then that makes it even easier for other people to cord you. So it's like this negative snowball. So we don't want that, right? So but you can check for those flaps. They'll like kind of bump out, so you can kind of feel them with your hands or your intention or your imagination. You want them not to be stuck out like that. You want it to be like a nice smooth surface. So you just keep melting the cords, repairing damage so that your creative rings can relax, and then the flaps fall shut. So then your energy flows and they do their job of creating gold light, but it's much harder for people to cord you then. And some of the energy that messes with your creative rings could also be messing with your 7th chakra, just because they're so close to each other. So you could also work on unblocking your 7th chakra at the same time. And later in the next video chapter will be what will become the next video chapter will be repairing and unblocking all chakras at the same time. But we'll do 7th chakra a little bit now while we're doing the creative ring work. So imagine your 3 gold creative rings, right? And then your 7th chakra is underneath that. And you have 2 7th chakras, one hopefully inside the other if you're at least partially present. So 7th chakra is oriented this way. right? It's an open cylinder shape like all chakras, but it the round opening is in the top and the bottom. So in the top of your head and then the bottom in there. So imagine your 7th chakra. Purple is an ideal color for your 7th chakras. So you can set your 7th chakras to your favorite shade of purple. 7th chakra is plural because you have 2, one astral body 7th and one physical body 7th. Right? So use gold light and wash out your creative rings and your 7th chakras. And you can freeze any energy that's not yours, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. Drag it out, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Freeze it, drag it out. Angels, here you go. Freeze it, drag it out. Angels, here you go. Creative rings, 7th chakras. You could bring up purple earth energy. Remember I said purple is a nice color for your 7th chakra. It's also a decent color for your creative rings, even though they're gold. As far as an earth energy color, you know, purple is the closest to gold. You could bring up grounding, special grounding from the core of the earth all the way up just for your 7th chakra and your creative rings and make that purple. So you bring up purple earth energy, your creative rings and your 7th chakra. So your 7th chakra helps you with confidence, which we're going to work more explicitly next month. Next month, December, is confidence and intuition. Intuition is also partially 7th chakra. Okay, good enough. Good job, good job. Okay, so now we will repair and unblock all your chakras, major chakras and minor chakras. Minor are still super important and super cool. They're just not the major 7 ones. So I had to call them something. So, all right. So, like I said, this is the basic chakra shape, an open cylinder. So somebody in a comment in a video recently was wondering like exactly how long your 6th chakra is compared to your 5th chakra, compared to your 4th chakra. But the point of a chakra is not so much like, okay, is it 5 inches long or, you know, 5.5 inches long? It's how much energy does it generate? How unblocked is it? Is it fully repaired? So that it's not tarnished by your own baggage or other people's dumped energy. And so you're creating like pure energy for your ability, whatever ability that chakra helps you with. So volume of energy and also the purity of energy, that it's not like sort of tarnished by somebody's, you know, suppressing energy. So that's the point of it. It's not the exact dimensions. It's how much energy it's to generate and the quality of that energy. So anyway, so you can make a copy out in front of you of a chakra and say with your intention, okay, this represents all my major and minor chakras of my body and my spirit. And then go ahead and use gold light to repair and unblock that chakra. And therefore all your chakras. And you want to have that intention, healthy and gentle. Only do what's healthy and gentle to do right now. Use gold light to melt the cords. And as I said, there are flaps around the round openings. So you want those flaps to fall shut It's in a smooth round opening. So your energy comes and goes through the round openings, but it's harder for people to sink a pair of cords into the round openings if the flaps are shut. So if the flaps are shut, it just looks like a smooth round opening like that. If the flaps are stuck open in an irritated state, they look like this instead. Right? So just use gold light and melt cords, melt away other people's energy, melt the energy blocks with gold light from your hands. Check for damage to the chakras. Damage could look like a crack, or could look like a big missing chunk, or like the whole front of it's all jagged and blown up, or the back of it. So just use a lot of gold light so that it can repair. All the chakras can repair. You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings messing with my chakras? And you could remind yourself that the more present you are in your chakras, the less room there is for everybody else, right? So just move everybody out and come on in. You know, be present. Okay. All right, good enough. So chakra unblocking, we could do a little bit extra for the theme. The theme being discipline. Being able to take consistent positive action towards your goals, working towards your goals, right? So this is a copy representing, make a copy, have your copy still out in front of you, representing all your major and minor chakras of your body and your spirit, and be aware of any baggage that's healthy and gentle to get rid of that would help you move forward with your discipline. And just lift out that baggage. We'll call it your discipline baggage, and just melt it away. Lift out your discipline baggage. Use so much gold light that you're melting it away. Lift out your discipline baggage. Use so much gold light that you're melting it away. All right, lift out your discipline baggage, melt it away. All right, good job, good job. Okie doke. So the final, this one that we're doing is the fifth in the 5 essentials that I generally talk about. So the 5 essentials being what you would need to double check and get going nicely again if you feel like you're especially screwed up. Those would be the 5 things that I would most recommend that you get going properly as soon as possible. Grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair. And this 5th one, which is good karma windows. GKW stands for good karma windows. You're back here in your astral body aura layers, and then base of skull points, the acupuncture points in the base of your skull. Unblocking, repairing those, and then unblocking the auras behind them. So it's good stuff. Helps you with focus, helps you to not feel so overwhelmed, helps you have really much stronger energy boundaries. Let's do it. So good karma windows, there are 7 of them. They're in your astral body aura, 1 for each aura layer. So astral body aura and physical body aura have 7 layers, like layers of an onion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They wrap all around you. And so there's good karma windows. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And each one looks like a triple frame window, or 3 concentric squares. So that's an image of one of your good karma windows. The one closest to your body in your first astral body aura layer. And so just imagine all 7, like you're like this, and just you know, have a copy of the back of your astral body aura behind your head and just use gold light. You can bring up red earth energy. Soak all your good karma windows in red earth energy. Light. And it's possible, if you have some damage to these windows, that invasive energy can work its way through the windows. The point of the windows is to let in the good stuff, like your own new positive change energy, like uplifting energy that you're trying to bring in. Like a little bit of energy from the moon and the stars, like uplifting, sort of sacred kind of energy, but just gentle amounts. But if they're damaged, then just whatever can get through. So we don't want that. So just do little repairs. You can use your intuition, be like, okay, can the good stuff get in, but not the bad stuff? You know, yes, 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 yes. Oops, these ones need repair. See, so that's how you can kind of save time and streamline. Just find the ones that are damaged that then the invasive energy can get through. And then for those. It is possible that they're all damaged. So, you know, when in doubt, just repair everything. Huh. So I like to use a gardening metaphor sometimes. So when you're pulling a weed in the garden, you want to get the stem and the leaves of the weed, but most of the times, if you leave the roots, then, you know, in gardening, that's bad. You don't want to leave the roots of a weed, you know, that could grow back from the roots. Some weeds can do that. So you want to get the roots too. So with energy stuff coming through this area, like this would be the stem and the leaves right here, and the roots could be anchored into some of your chakras, either these little base of skull point chakras or your major chakras along the upper part of your body. So you just want to imagine grabbing the invasive energy, you know, from the stem and the leaves, but also the roots, right? And just grab the whole thing, freeze it with gold light, lift it out, angels, here you go. Grab the whole thing, freeze it, lift it out, angels, here you go. Grab the whole thing, freeze it, lift it, angels, here you go. You want, you know, only you to be. Sometimes you can have a lot of hard plates of energy back here up against the base of skull points. Let me show the base of skull points. So those two horizontal rows of dots in the diagram, one at the level of the top of the earlobe, one at the level of the bottom of the earlobe. That's what I mean by base of skull points, all those little energy centers. So just like, you know, they're shaped like regular chakra shape, right? And they fit inside the meridian, these acupuncture points, these little minor chakras. So if the meridian's going this way, as it is in the diagram there, then the chakras fit in and they help keep the energy flowing within the meridian, and they generate energy, right? So flow and generating energy. So you don't even have to know the names of these meridians or which direction the energy is supposed to flow. Just repair and unblock the chakras, and then the chakras know the rest. You don't have to, if you. But it is kind of interesting. So if you want to know the midline one, that's GV, governing vessel meridian, also called du in Chinese. I mean, it's pronounced du. I'm sure there's some really, really, really cool Chinese character means du meridian, but you write a du in English. Anyway, that's governing vessel meridian. It starts in the crotch, goes all the way up the midline of the back, and hooks around the roof of the mouth and in the roof, like a big candy cane. And red is a great color for your energy in all of these body meridians. And all these meridians have their own w.c.aura. So you can comb through the aura that's just for your GV meridian. Extra. Then the yellow line in the diagram, that's urinary bladder meridian. You don't have to know that, but if you're interested in it, that's what it is. So UB, urinary bladder meridian, it starts in the inner corner of the eye, goes up to the inner corner of the eyebrow, goes up and then over and then back. And so coming into view right there in the diagram, going through the base of skull area, left branch and a right branch, and then it goes from 2 branches to 4 branches, which is kind of cool. But anyway, so you can just repair those and unblock those energy centers. Your urinary bladder meridian going through this area, and unblock the urinary bladder meridian w.c.aura. That's the w.c.aura, the gold flowing aura that's just to nourish that urinary bladder meridian. Block it extra. All right, and then the one on the outer part of the base of skull area, that's the blue-green one, that's gallbladder meridian, GB, gallbladder meridian. And it starts by the eye, and there's a lot of cool zigzagging around the ear, and it comes up to the forehead, then it zooms back here across the shoulder and down the side of the body. It's very cool. So it's a good one to know for like headaches. I mean, all of those are good for headache help, because you could have damage in one of those auras and one of those meridians, and damage in these meridians can be felt as physical pain. Not always. So anyway, just especially the points that you see there going through the base of skull area, just unblock and repair. And then the w.c.aura, that's just for the gallbladder meridian. Unblock it, especially around the sides of the head. And neck. All right, good enough. Woohoo! Good job, good job. So that concludes the 5 essentials. Woohoo! All right. Okay. I was taking notes so that I can write a good healing outline later. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so I explained this. There'll be a video chapter for the explaining part. Before the healing started, I explained this and why we're doing it. But basically, it helps you feel good even if people around you are not feeling good. and helps you to, you know, self-regulate better. And that also helps you have stronger boundaries, because then you won't resist their mood swings so much or their emotional, you know, reactions towards you. So then, you know, with that enhanced flow that you have internally, that'll make your aura stronger. Help with sense. All right. So gonna look at how we should do that. Okay, so clearing matches is something that's a pretty common term that I think about. I'm not sure if I explain it much. But you can have matching baggage that is triggered when you interact with someone or even when you just think about somebody. Like for example, if somebody's been through some level of trauma and you have as well, you weren't with them, but you know, it's like you both have emotional abuse trauma from childhood or whatever, you know, or from a past life even. When you're around them, that might trigger within you and you might not be conscious of it. You probably are not conscious of it, but it may make you just less comfortable around that person. So, for example, you know, say your husband has issues with anger management, you know, and is like fuming a lot. Maybe he's fuming at you half the time he's just fuming at the world and not at you. But if you have matching like repressed anger, maybe that it could be very unsettling for you. And you're not wanting to feel your anger, and so you're kind of pissed at him that he's always so angry because it makes you angry now, you know, because your baggage is triggered. So being able to clear your matching baggage that triggers when you're around somebody. Typically it's matching baggage, but it could just be any baggage that triggers when you're around certain people or you're aware of, you know, social anxiety or social angst, the masses, right? So, we could just matching or triggered baggage, either way. So clear your matching or triggered baggage. That's a big mouthful. Sorry about the teensy weensy print. Now be at peace with external lack of peace in others by clearing your matching or triggered baggage. Okie doke. And this is something that parents might have to do. Well, parents do have to do, but sometimes, most of the time, they're not conscious of it. They might say a phrase like, "Oh, this kid's driving me crazy," you know, or like I'll say about our dog, like, "Oh, he's driving me up a wall. He's driving me crazy." Because our dog is on a lot of medication for seizures and stuff, and so sometimes he just gets really wiggy. And when he's really wiggy, it's like it's sometimes possible that, you know, you get your own anxieties triggered or your own worries triggered because he's like one big ball of, you know, freak out. And so anyway, let's clear all that. Right? So just make a big blanket out in front of you because fortunately you can kind of predict the people that you're generally around and the people that you're going to be around and just clear your baggage in advance that triggers when you're around those people or even when you just think about them. So make a big gold, nice and big gold blanket, right? And we'll have the angels check, so don't worry, it won't be too much clearing. So pile onto it any matching baggage you have, any triggered baggage you have that gets triggered when you're interacting with or even thinking about people, like say people in your country, politically speaking, or people of your same religion or different religion or same culture or different culture, or just your loved ones, what gets triggered when you're around them or you communicate to them, or people in your workplace, you know, your clients, your colleagues, your bosses, whatever. What baggage do you have within you that triggers when you interact with those people, or even think about them? And that may be a lot of baggage on that blanket now. So you just ask your angels, angels, can you double check and make sure, you know, this is only what's healthy and gentle to clear right now? And just take a couple deep breaths and let your angels edit for you. So anything that's too much to clear right now, they'll just remove it for you for later. Okay, so now your pile got all checked and edited, so it's not too much now. So then you can also ask your angels, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? And just take a deep breath or two while your angels do that for you. Okay, so then now you can bring up red earth energy, soak all the baggage with red earth energy. That helps ground it, helps ground you out of the baggage, separate you from all this junk. And then just use lots of gold light, melt cords from other people going into the baggage, because maybe they, you know, say your mom or your crabby sister has things in common with you that she might be cording your baggage subconsciously. So just wash everybody out, melt all the cords out of this baggage that you're about to clear. That way it won't be so unsettling for them when you clear it. So you'll get a lot less backlash. So melt everybody out of this pile, melt yourself out of the pile. And then go ahead and you could keep melting the pile with gold light till it's all gone, or at this point you could blow up the pile. Okay, so we'll do it one more time, but we'll do it faster. Still with the angel check, but just faster. So put a big blanket out in front of you, pile onto it any junk that is matching, like baggage that you have that matches baggage from other people, like say in your country or other people in your workplace or your family, or matches people you know. Anything that triggers when you interact with the people that you need to interact with. And then angels, can you double check this baggage? Make sure it's only what's healthy and gentle to clear right now. Deep breath. And then angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this baggage? Okay, and then bring up red earth energy, soak the pile in red earth energy, use gold light, melt everybody out of the pile. Melt the cords from yourself, melt the cords from other people. You want to just empty everybody out of these blocks, and then you can melt them or blow them up. And you can keep doing that more if you want. All right, and if you have any leftover that's just not clearing, wrap it up in the gold blanket, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? Deep breath. All right. We're going to do something else with that. Oh, sorry, that was explaining and doing. I'm going to look for a minute because I want us to work this more, but I have to see what method would be the best. Okay. So another way that we're going to work being at peace with external lack of peace in other people or groups of people is clearing expectations. And the example I was looking at is there's a guy who takes care of his mother who is she has health issues and she's fairly on in years. And she, because of her health issues, she needs physical assistance to do certain tasks, and it's frustrating for her because she didn't need that help 10, 20 years ago, and so that's frustrating. And so she will get so his mom will get very upset at different times, but he's doing his best to help, and so then he gets very upset. And a big part of that is because he expects on some, subconscious level that she should just be grateful and happy to have this help. Here he is, spending so many hours helping her, and he wants her to be happy with the help and grateful and, in a good mood because she's getting all this help. But she's frustrated because she can't do it herself, and so she's angry. And so then now he's angry too. So he has expectations for how someone should behave when he's doing a great deal of help. He's offering them a great deal of help. If he clears his expectations, then he can be more at peace with her, angst, and understand that, why she has that, and not personalize it so much. And not be so disappointed that she's in a terrible mood half the time. Another thing, the expectations from other people, she tends to hand him expectations that he should cheer her up and make her have a good day, which is hard to do, because she has all these triggers and she just doesn't feel good, and so, but he gets her expectation in his space, like that you're not helping, you're not doing it right, and then it's like that is irritating to him as well. So we're gonna clear out expectations, your own for yourself and others, and then also if you have dumped expectations in your space from other people. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, expectations in general get you in trouble because they're so rigid, It's like you can have hopes, you could have goals, you can have all these things that are more flexible and can adjust more easily. But expectations, it's like a very rigid energy of like, this is the way that should happen, you know? So chances are they get in the way. So that's what we're going to do. So let's do it. Okay. So may as well just do gold blanket again, or you can just make piles without the blanket if you're getting tired of the gold blanket. But make a big gold blanket out in front of you and pile onto it any expectations that you have for the people around you. Maybe you expect them to be in a good mood. Maybe you expect them to meditate. Maybe you expect them to be peaceful and cooperative and grateful when you help them. Maybe you expect them to be empathetic and considerate and kind, you know, and which, you know, it's nice to want these things and to, you know, whatever, but if you expect and then they're not that way, it's like you're the one that's stuck. So again, and any dumped expectations you have from other people in your space about what you should be like or what you should do or kind of career you should have or whatever, right? So dump all the expectations out onto in front of you that were dumped in your space from others. And then any rigid expectations you have for yourself or for others, put all that out in front of you and say, angels, can you double check all this and make sure, you know, can you edit out, you know, if needed, so that it's just what's healthy and gentle to clear right now. Deep breath as your angels edit your piles. And then the second request that you can make to your angels is, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into all this junk? Is there any trying to make trouble? Okay, the pile gets cleaned out. Deep breath. And then now you can do the rest. Just bring up red earth energy from the core of the earth and soak all that junk in red earth energy, which helps get you out of the pile, helps get everybody else out of the pile. Use gold light around the pile and lots of gold light to melt away cords from yourself and from others going into the pile. Melt all that away. Wash everybody out. And then you can melt all the baggage if you want, or the blocks, or blow them up, whatever you prefer. If you have any left over, you can wrap it up in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? So we'll do that again more quickly, about the same idea. So pile out in front of you any expectations that you have, or say maybe you expect people to be in a good mood, kind, considerate, quiet, calm, peaceful, enthusiastic, you know, whatever you're expecting people to be like and feel like and act like and do and not do and say and not say. Put all those expectations out in front of you, and then expectations that you have from other people that get dumped in your space about how you should be. Just pile that all out in front of you and say, angels, can you double check all this and make sure it's only what's healthy and gentle to clear right now? Breath while your angels do that. And the second request, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into all that? Deep breath. All right, and then red earth energy, gold light, melt the cords, melt yourself, melt everyone else out of the baggage, and then melt the baggage fully or blow it up. Is there any left over? Wrap it up in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that, please? Okay, and the final thing we'll do for peace is healing flowers, peace flowers for yourself. So it may be tempting to give peace flowers for everybody you know, but the angels say no, just the point of this is your own inner peace. You can say, angels, can you please help all the people I know? You know, angels, can you please, you know, bless and heal all the people on the planet, all sentient beings on the planet. So then you include the animals too. But yeah, let's do healing flowers for yourself. So go ahead and make energy healing flowers for yourself out of universal healing energy. So there'd be gold light and or rainbow colors, and set those flowers or balls of light if you don't like flowers, or make them at like presents, and just set them to the vibration that you need to nourish your inner peace and your ability to be at peace despite external dramas. So just lots of gold light. Double, reset your flowers so they're peace flowers for you. Say, angels, can you double check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. Okay, one more time. Make peace flowers, as many as you need. Tune them to the vibration you need. Angels, can you double check my peace flowers? And then give them to yourself. Breathe in, let them go wherever they need to go. All right, great job. We can do some butterflies to celebrate that. Hey, good job, good job. So that was working your inner peace 3 different ways. One, by clearing your matching baggage or triggered baggage that gets triggered when you think of or interact with others. And then the second way was clearing your expectations that you have about other people, and also clearing their expectations about you that they've dumped in your space. And the third way was peace flowers, energy healing flowers for yourself to help nourish your peace. And we also ask the angels to heal other people, all sentient beings on the planet. All right. Good job. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to clear grief specifically by working 2 meridians, traditional Chinese medicine meridians of the physical body that are known for helping with releasing grief. So let's do it. The lung meridian and the large intestine meridian. So in the order of flow, first your energy flows into the lung meridian and then into the large intestine meridian. So we'll do it in that order for kicks. But basically the lung one starts around here in the chest, kind kind of near the shoulder and sort of in between the shoulder and the armpit. And then it goes down and ends in the thumb. Down the arm, ends in the thumb. And then the large intestine one starts in the index finger, goes through that, there's large intestine 4, like right there in that chubby part. It goes up your arm and shoulders and crisscrosses under your nose. And so, chest, shoulder area to thumb is lung, and then index finger up to the sides of your nose is large intestine. So we'll do both of those right now. So I'm just going to do them one after the other and heal as I watch them. So that's what you can do too. Just imagine. So the basics of meridian healing is you just imagine it. You can imagine it literally and then use gold light to unblock and repair, because you don't want leaks. You want it to be a continuous red tube with your red flowing life force in it. No leaks and no blocks. And you want to have your intention be that you only want to repair and unblock to the extent that's healthy and gentle to do right now, especially for body stuff, but really as an energy healer, period. So, and if it confuses you too much or hurts your brain to like imagine all the little twists and turns that you see in the video, like if it does a little zigzag right here, and you're like, just imagine it like one river. So you can imagine the lung meridian as one river and imagine the large intestine meridian as one river and just unblock the river. I think I will do the literal view of it first, at least once, of both of them. And then maybe after that, I'll do the river. But you can do it as a river both times if it hurts your brain to do the literal. So again, it starts up here, right? Goes down the arms, goes through the inner elbow, inner arm, and out to the thumb. Let's do that one more time. That was like insanely fast. So again, around the chest and shoulder, on the arm, inner arm, and out the thumb. So think about this. Is it too compressed? Because if it's too tight and compressed, it holds on to the grief and the other blocks, as opposed to having nice, relaxed, red flowing so it can release. Right? So, and the first point is always significant in a meridian. You want it to be nice and unblocked so that it can receive energy from the meridian before it. So think of lung 1, that first chakra point right there where it starts the video. Block that, lung 1. Ooh, and then just go down. Onto the, go by the lung 1, by the chest and shoulder. Goes briefly on the front of the shoulder, down the inner arm, ends in the thumb. So do you get a sense of somebody's energy that's here that's not you? And you can just wash them out. You get a sense of a certain time in your life, in this life, you're aware of. There's some, stored grief from. And just use gold light and melt it to the extent that's healthy and gentle right now. You don't have to be perfect in 2 minutes. Just do what's healthy and gentle to do. Melt away some of the blocks. Yep, some of the flow. And sometimes the meridian can just be like burnt up and crusty and sort of flattened. So if you notice that any part of it like that, just use extra gold light. You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings messing with this meridian? Yeah, just keep melting away the hardened energy so that You melt that away, and then the meridian can repair and be all red and flowy again. So again, around this area right here, where it's shown in the diagram, right chest, between your armpit and your shoulder right there. Unblock lung 1 point. And then front of shoulders, inner arm, all the way down to the... And then the w.c.'aura of the lung meridian, right? So the w.c.'aura of it goes all around your body, above your head, below your feet. And since the lung meridian is like right here in front, the front part of the w.c.'aura is the most important. I mean, the whole thing is important and helps nourish that meridian. But I have found that like right around where the meridian is, the w.c.'aura out from the part of the w.c.'aura out from where the meridian is going to be the most significant and potentially the most blocked. Light, unblock your lung meridian, like right here, in front of your arms, in front of your chest. Lung meridian, w.c. Double check the gold mesh spheres. Each w.c.'aura has 3 gold mesh spheres. There's an innermost one, a middle one, and an outermost one. They wrap all around in that w.c.'aura, and they can be missing. Like you can have just big gaps in the gold mesh sphere, so you can just use so much gold light that it grows back. Because you want a continuous amount of gold light bathing this lung meridian from the w.c.'aura. Okay, so it starts in your chest, near your shoulders, goes in the front of your shoulder, inner arm, all the way down through part of your wrist and through your... All right, so then let's do the large intestine meridian. So it ends in your thumb, right? And then the energy flows from there to your index finger to the start of your large intestine meridian. So let's watch the large intestine one. Get me out of the way first. So it starts in your index finger, goes up side of your arm there, up through your shoulder, side of your neck. And that video is wrong just right there, in that as it goes up, it actually crisscrosses. Left side crisscrosses over to the right side and vice versa. Just keep in mind that's the one inaccurate. It's supposed to actually crisscross. In reality, it actually under your nose. So let's do that video again. And you can do some direct... to get myself out of the way for the whole... Do it again. See if I'll be out of the way the whole... Nope. I'm still in the way. Teeny. All right, starts in the index finger, up through that part of the hand, up through the side of the arm, neck, and crisscrosses it of the nose. I'm just gonna not show myself, okay? Because I'm always in the way. Let's see. How about I show a teeny, 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 weeny version? Mini Janet. Okay. So large intestine meridian starts in the index finger, goes up through the chubby part of the hand. There, it goes up the side of arm, side of the elbow, side, the top of the shoulder, in outer neck. Well, the neck crosses. So again, index finger, side of the arm, shoulder, side of the neck, crisscrosses under the neck. So index finger all the way up under nose. Index finger all the way up under. Just get an overall sense of this meridian for yourself, this large intestine meridian. Do you feel like it's tense? Do you feel like one side is more tense than the other? What do you feel like? How do you feel like the strength of the flow is? How much volume of energy is there? You get a sense of a person who's not you that's in this meridian. Because again, of course, it should be just your body's energy and you, nobody else. You get a sense of a certain time in your life, maybe when there's some unprocessed grief stuck in this meridian. Again, you just want to use gold light, and your intention is you're going to melt away what's healthy and gentle to melt away right now from this large intestine meridian. Watch it one more time. Right in the index finger, up the chubby part of the hand, side of the arm, top of the elbow, side of the neck. Okay, and then let's keeping that in mind, that start of it, well, the whole thing. Let's do the w.c.'aura just of the large intestine meridian. So w.c.'aura goes all around you. So you imagine a mini version of yourself and just unblock and repair if needed. Like if you feel like there's a big rip, big valley in your large intestine meridian w.c.'aura, definitely, lots of gold light. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way messing with my large intestine meridian or my large intestine meridian w.c.'aura, you recycle those beings. So much gold light then that the all grows big, bouncy, flowy aura, and then check for, hard pieces of energy stuck in this large intestine meridian w.c.'aura. So then you can think of both the large intestine meridian w.c.'aura and the lung meridian w.c.'aura, the one we just did before that. Just imagine those two auras, the two that help the most with grief releasing, and just imagine the bottom of those auras under your feet and make sure they're unblocked under your feet. So like this area, right, of your both those meridian w.c.'aura. Unblock them. You want to be able to let go of the grief to the extent that's healthy and gentle. Right? Okay, so then we'll do them both as rivers. So let's see. I kind of like looking at the lung one Just because how cool is that? You know, you can see so much of it at once right there. So it starts right there and then goes all the way to the thumb. But what we're going to do is, yeah, let's just unblock the lung meridian as a river. So you don't have to think about how it starts here and ends in your thumb. You just imagine it as a river, the lung meridian and the start and all the chakras in it and the end of it. And just unblock it. Use lots of gold light. And if you see invasive beings in it, maybe they look like little spinny things. You say, angels, can you recite beings? And if you notice anybody standing in your river, just, use gold light so that they melt away. Any energy blocks in this river, the lung meridian river, gold light and melt that away. All right. So then we will do so that was, suppose I should describe it. I'll figure it out later. I can make chapters. Okay, so then the large intestine meridian, w.c.'aura, remember we said it was like this. It starts in the finger, goes up through the outer part of the arm, top of the shoulder, outer neck, ends under the nose, right? So you could just feel it as a river. You don't have to think of that whole route from the index finger to the nose. Just imagine it as a river, your large intestine meridian river, right? And just use lots of gold light. Your intention is you only want to heal and repair to the extent that's healthy and gentle. And you can just be aware, is there somebody in this river? Is there somebody usually in this river? And just wash them out. Just melt them out of the way. Melt the blocks that makes it so easy for them to come back. Melt those blocks out of the river. You can also say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings messing with my large intestine meridian? So you want to think about the flow in this large intestine meridian river. So if it's just like this little trickle, just start unblocking the energy centers within it so they can generate, right? So we're doing the large intestine meridian w.c.'aura. Lots of cold light. As a river. I'm sorry, large intestine meridian as a river. And again, maybe somebody's in here. Sometimes when you have somebody's energy, maybe you have their grief in this river, in this meridian, large intestine meridian, or maybe just their energy makes you feel sad. It makes you feel your grief. So just wash everybody out of this large intestine meridian large intestine meridian river. Okay, and check your grounding, right? Because grounding is really important. You want to, you can remake both your groundings, make them nice and big and wide as all your auras, wide all the way down to the core of the earth, and then use gold light from your hands, comb through all the way down to the core of the earth to melt away blocks. Because grief only really sucks when it's not releasing out. When it's releasing, it's pretty mild. But if it gets stuck, if there's like a traffic jam and you're grounding and then it all backs up, that's when you feel grief very painfully and intensely. So when in doubt, unblock your grounding and unblock the bottom of your aura, especially physical body aura, your astral body aura, and then these two that we just did. Lung meridian, w.c.'aura, and the large intestine. All right. Good job, good job, good job, good job. Woohoo. So first we did the direct healing on the lung meridian and then unblocking the lung meridian w.c.aura. Then we did direct healing on the large intestine meridian and unblocking the large intestine meridian w.c.aura. Then we did the lung meridian, we healed it as a river. And then we healed the large intestine meridian by imagining it as a river. Good job. And then we unblocked the grounding. So that was just the summary, right, of what we did. All right, good job, good job. So weather report, it is raining a lot and probably very windy, but it's dark, so I can't tell. So if the live stream suddenly disappears, it's because we don't have power and or electricity. I mean, power, electricity and or internet. So don't worry, I'll be safe, but it means I'll finish the rest as a video instead of live streaming. Okay, so now we're going to do sleep slide work. Sleep slide, which is your pathway out to the astral when you sleep. So it's a literal pathway that you have from your creative rings out up to the astral. From your 7th chakra to your creative rings out up to the astral. But also you can just imagine on your sleep slide a representation of anything in the way. So it could be something that's predominantly in one of your chakras, but it also, the sort of the indirect effect, it is blocking up that sleep slide as well. So by unblocking the sleep slide, you're probably clearing other blocks and damage in the rest of you as well. Just whatever's in the way of you going back to sleep properly or going to sleep properly initially and then waking up more gracefully and comfortably and with more of the good stuff, being able to bring in more of the good stuff, the conscious clarity, the motivation, the discipline energy, all the good stuff, right? So we're going to definitely do both directions, with especially bringing in, though, for the theme, including conscious clarity. Okay, so you can imagine your sleep slide as like a slide that goes upward, and also you can take it downward when you wake up again. And generally the angels suggest to me a green and a gold for the sleep slide, sleep slide. So you could bring up green earth energy and soak it. And then just use lots of gold light. Don't use too much earth energy because it's like you're taking it to the astral and then you're coming in from the astral on it. So you don't want it like super duper earth energy, but some earth energy is fine. And the fact that it's connected to the core of the earth is fine. Lots of gold light. And wash away anybody else that's in your sleep slide or courting your sleep slide. Some people have people that chronically affect their sleep and their quality of sleep. It may be a friend that you have or a relative for whatever reason. So just wash them out of your sleep slide. And you can say to them telepathically, hey, you know, the angels can help you sleep well, you know, or hey, I'm okay, you know, thanks. If they think they're helping you, just wash them out of your sleep slide. And you can imagine, you know, both directions, like I said. So imagine whatever barriers that might be preventing you from going back up your sleep slide or making it hard for you. So just imagine those, that any blocks in the way of you going back to sleep easily. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my sleep slide, can you please recycle them? All right, and then now we'll do the bringing in part. So that was going out. Okay, that was going out. So now we'll do the bringing in part. Which is when you're waking up, you come in, right? Your astral body goes to the astral when you're asleep, and then you come in, your astral body comes in to your physical body when you wake up. The more you come in, the more chakras you come into, the more present you are. Right? So you can just imagine, again, that sleep slide, and just imagine the blocks that that get in your way when you're trying to bring in all the good stuff, all the good ideas, good realizations, good awareness, clarity. Yeah, just imagine those blocks and melt them away. Some people come in with very panicked thoughts or worries. Make sure you melt those away. Sometimes people come in with a sense of dread, and that's how they know it's Monday, or that's how they know they have something important to do that day. But it's not really the best, healthiest way to remind yourself about what you have to do that day. You know, you can go ahead and clear any baggage about what you have to accomplish that's on your sleep slide, so that you could just wake up and just kind of be for a second without, you know, running through your whole day right away mentally. So just imagine you're coming down your sleep slide. What might be in your way? What might you have to like travel through that's kind of yucky, and just melt all that away. You want to be able to bring the good stuff in with you. Bring in your ideas, your discipline, your clarity. Melt anything in the way of that. You say, angels, can you please recycle any beings messing with my sleep slide? And you might notice some people maybe in your sleep slide when you're thinking about coming in. You know, maybe one of your parents used to have to wake you up in the mornings when you were a kid or something. You know, maybe they're still on your sleep slide. Just wash everybody off your sleep slide. Lots of gold light. You can even create a gold protective force field around your sleep slide. Nice flowy gold. All right, good job, good job. Woohoo! Good job. Yay. All right, so the final thing that I wanted to do in this healing is that zoom out and zoom in thing. So, as I said, this is the final thing I wanted to do, the zooming out and zooming in, being able to adjust your focus, either consciously or subconsciously, or both, ideally both, so that you know, say you have one project you really need to get done and you only have a certain amount of time, you know, you can zoom in on that one priority. Or maybe you would like some big picture clarity and like to sort of contemplate several things and prioritize and order them, you know, so you need to zoom out for that and consider several factors at once, you know, kind of get more of a big picture sense. So it's good to be able to switch gears like that with your focus and your mind, depending on whatever issue you want to think about. But there could be baggage in the way of you being able to zoom in and out and really have command of your own focus, your own consciousness. So you can make a blanket out in front of you, pile onto it any dumped energy that was dumped in your space ever that messes with your focus and your zoom in and zooming out. And so any dumped energy and also any of your baggage or any baggage you took on from other people that affects your ability to consciously and subconsciously adjust your focus, right? So keep piling that baggage out in front of you and say, angels, can you double check this and make sure it's healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Take a deep breath while your angels possibly edit your pile if it's needed. And then second question for the angels. Angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Breath. And then just use lots of gold light. And you can melt cores from other people going into this baggage. Melt everybody out, melt yourself out. And just melt the baggage fully or blow it up completely. And if there's any left over, just wrap it up in lots of gold light. Give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? All right, good job. Very good, very good. Woo. You could repeat that on your own, but I think that's enough to just do it once for us right now. We could do also healing flowers. So that was clear baggage. Right? And then now we're going to do focus flowers. Oops. Focus flowers. So energy healing flowers to help nourish you, so that you can have better focus and be able to zoom in and zoom out and have a big picture awareness or a very focused awareness, very specific awareness, you know, based on what you'd like. So go ahead and make a lot of energy healing flowers out of universal healing energy, gold energy, or rainbow colors, or both. Tune them to the vibration that's best to nourish your focus. And then say, angels, can you double check my focus flowers? And then give them to yourself. Go ahead, make more energy healing flowers for yourself, or presents or balls of light. Make them gold or rainbow colors, or both. And tune them to the vibration that's just right to help nourish your focus, help you to adjust big picture focus, or, you know, laser focus. And tune them for yourself. And then say, angels, can you double check my focus flowers? And give them to yourself. All right. Good job. Good job. Okay. So we'll wrap up now. Just do a little bit of unblocking, and maybe clear STEBs at the end of the healing. So imagine your everything out in front of you, all 17 auras, your astral body and your physical body aura are inside there, both your groundings connecting you to the core of the earth. Use gold light from your hands, wash it all out, wash everybody out, especially in the back where somebody might be hiding. And the back of your grounding, wash everybody out. You could do like collapsing gold nets to get rid of invasive beings from everywhere. So just make a big giant cube of gold netting that's bigger than you, bigger than your grounding, and collapse it in and tangle up everything that's not you and drag it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Collapsing gold nets one more time. Collapse it in, drag out all that invasive stuff. Angels, here you go. One more time, collapsing gold nets, collapse it in, drag out all the invasive energy. Angels, here. Check all your major chakras. Align them. Use a nice wide band of gold light. Just let your 7 chakras click into alignment with each other. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Aura layers 1 and 2, those are the ones closest to your body. So astral body layers 1 and 2, physical body layers 1 and 2. So just comb through those, unblock those extra. Since we come in through the top of the head into the 7th chakra, you're most likely present in your 7th layer, 6th layer, 5th, but you know, as you get in, some people are less present in these lower chakras and inner aura layers. So you want to just do extra unblocking of inner aura layers and your 2nd chakra and your 1st chakra while you're at it. So 2nd chakra is below the belly button, an opening in the front and the back. 1st chakra is at the base of the spine, round. First chakra, 2nd layer, 1st layer. And of course you have 2 sets of those, 1 astral, 1 physical. Unblock. Especially above the head and below the feet. Alrighty. Clearing STEBs. All right, so STEBs stands for stubborn triggered energy blocks, blocks that still haven't cleared, even though we've done 5 billion different things. So it's okay. This technique will get them. That will get them. So just put out in front of you any energy blocks that are still triggered. Triggered by world events, triggered by your friends, your family, yourself, whatever stuff I've been saying. Put copies of those energy blocks out in front of you and wash everybody out of those blocks. You could say, angels, you help me clear all this junk. And angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then just keep melting the baggage, or you could blow it up. If any of it's left over, wrap it in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with that? One more time. Put your STEBs out in front of you. Lots of gold light. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings? Angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this? And use gold light, melt it all away. Any left over, wrap it up, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right, so as we finish up the healing, just ask your angels to help you. Angels, can you help me finish this healing? Angels, can you help me have better and better discipline? Angels, can you help me work towards my goals through consistent action? Angels, can you help me achieve my goals? All right. Good job. That's a healing. Woohoo! Good job. Good job. All right. Let's do a change of scenery. Let's see. Not very seasonally appropriate, but I'm kind of in the mood for it. Nasturtium leaves. That was taken in my garden sometime probably 2 years ago in the summer. With the ladybugs. So let's see. So let's see. How long have we been going? Wow. 2 hours and 40 minutes or so. That's a lot. So we'll do some quick breaks and then we'll do a Q&A. But I always say this, but I kind of mean it this time. I'm going to try to make it relatively short. Like 20, 30 minutes. So hopefully the angels will help me to make it really cool and informative, but also not so long. You can post how the healing was for you. How are you feeling now after the healing? If you have any comments about the theme for this month, that would be nice. The theme is discipline, consistent action, working towards and achieving your goals. Okay, so now I'll get rid of the camera so that you can just watch the ladybugs. And if you need to take a restroom break, please do that. I'll be right back. Mm. Hey, I'm back. So, I'm just going to do stretching for a minute, but you can do your own stretching, whatever kind of stretching you feel like you need, if you want, and be as gentle with yourself as you need to. I am not any kind of stretching expert at all, so feel free to do your own thing or just hang out for a sec, and then we'll do a little Q&A, sort of chit chat, short chit chat. And I will say, oops, let me, hmm. 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 I'm not able to change my banner at the moment. Not able to show my banner. Hmm. Well, I don't think I can change anything right now. Let's see. Yeah, I can't. Well. Hmm. I use this. Post healing chat. All right, good enough. I'm just gonna leave it. My computer, I think, my laptop is starting to fight with my with itself again. Just like before I started the stream, my computer was having a problem. But anyway, I did want to make an announcement. Maybe I can write that here. We'll see. Okay, there we go. So this Wednesday, I will most likely not do a post-healing chit-chat. We'll just end the healing and it's over. I'll just say you guys are amazing. Toodaloo. Because one time a month, I do a Wednesday live stream, but every Wednesday in the evening, my husband does a live stream, usually. I mean, he took some time off, but now he's back in the swing of it. So he does a live stream at like 6 p.m. our time every Wednesday. And like right now it's 6:22 p.m. So, because I started so late and then things take so long, and I refuse to collide with his stuff. So I'm going to start earlier this Wednesday than I did today, no matter what. And no matter what, I'm going to be done by like a half hour, like 15 minutes before his stream. So like 40 minutes earlier than right now, I'll be done so that I'm not in his way for his stream. So there'll be no chit chat afterwards, most likely because of the way I always run late, in order to be done by 5:45 Pacific time, which is 7:45 p.m. Central and 8:45 p.m. Eastern. I'll have to just not have any chat after that one healing, the triplet healing, the third triplet healing. And that may be how I do it every time. Just no chit chat no post healing chat after the third triplet healing. So I hope that makes sense. Gotta be nice to my husband. We're both live streamers, so we don't have internet strength to live stream 2 different streams at the same time in the same house. Okay, so this is the post healing chat. Now, sorry, my laptop is not behaving, so things are going. I have trouble keeping that in the place it's supposed to be. All right. I don't know why though. I've rebooted like a zillion times before I started the stream. Let's see. I'm looking for the comments I have not read yet. Lots of weather stuff. New job offer, yay. People mentioning how long the stream was before I started my timer. Thank you. Thank you. Someone says that they meant large intestine 4 point, which is this one right here. This is large intestine 4. You know how people need right here? That's is your large intestine meridian starts in your index finger, and then it goes through that chubby part right there and then goes up. You can always Google. If I wanted to see the pathway, I mean, I could use these videos. Like these videos, it's a playlist, the 12 meridian playlist. It's on my YouTube channel. It's also linked in the info section of this live stream. And later, when this is a video, it's in the info section. It'll say 12 meridian playlist, and you can watch all of them. But also, if I wanted to see like, okay, well, which one is lung 4 or which one is like you're mentioning lung 9, then I would Google. I like yinyanghouse.com. Their meridian diagrams, they're all numbered and they're very clear and really well done, well drawn. But I find that their website is pretty hard to navigate, at least for my brain. So I just Google the exact thing I want, and then I put Yin Yang House, and it'll Google will show me the exact page, link to the exact page on their website. So I would say, you know, lung meridian diagram, yin yang house, you know, and then I would through Google, you know, and then it would give me the link to that exact page of the lung meridian diagram on the yinyanghouse.com website. But anyway, yes. So, someone's doing different emojis. Question: how do I learn to see rips in your auras? Learning to see your own energy, it comes with time. It's not like I can do one video and go, poof, now you can see, now you're a conscious clairvoyant. The more present you get, I mean, vision is your sixth chakra and your sixth layer all around you. Your screen, it's like you have like a movie screen in the front of your sixth layer. Or you can make one if you don't have, but that's the idea. And so if your sixth layer is nice and clear, it's just for you, then it's like this nice ocean. You know, sixth chakra is for clairvoyance and non-judgment. And so you just kind of imagine, okay, well, I want to see, you know, the flow in my arm, in my right arm. So you imagine a copy of your right arm and see like, okay, it feels like it's blocked here, but it flows here. So let me unblock there. Oh, wow, that's cool. I kind of feel it, you know? And you may not feel it if you're not present enough. So that's sort of unfortunate because as a newbie, you have to do a lot of this on faith, you know, because you're not present enough to feel every little thing you do. Some people are, like some people will get a healing from me. They've never gotten healings before and they will feel quite a difference with the first healing. They're the lucky ones. The unlucky ones are more common where you don't really feel that different. And that's why I always want to know in the surveys, do you feel different? If you don't, still fill out a survey, please. Just say, I feel the same, you know? But the funny thing is, like, sometimes people say, I feel the same. And then like later on, they're like, actually, I thought about this project and I haven't been able, I'm finally have some clarity on it. And oh, actually, you know what? I was able to sleep longer than usual. And oh, you know what? I was able to not take my husband so seriously when he got pissed off or, you know, whatever. And so sometimes you think you feel the same, but then, you know, the different questions in the survey might kind of jog your mind and be like, oh yeah, that's right. I did do that, you know? So that's always interesting. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, how do I learn to see rips? You just keep working on yourself, keep healing, keep unblocking. But specifically, sixth chakra, sixth layer is technically what would be for clairvoyance. And so you can imagine your sixth chakra physical body, sixth chakra astral body, and then the two chakra filaments that connect them. So it connects like your physical sixth chakra to your astral body sixth chakra, which, you know, when you're fully present, they fit in each other. But when, like, say you're asleep, then they're sort of they're still connected and still energy flow. Your astral body sixth and your physical chakra. And so, you know, you might have like family members just kind of boarding and blocking it all up. So the filaments, I use that word filament just because it's people tend to have negative associations with cords. So, but technically it is a cord between your sixth and your sixth, but it's you know? But so I call it the sixth chakra filaments. So just unblock everybody out of there. Typically, you know, like I said, it's all gradual and you gradually get, you know, a little bit and then a little bit better and a little bit better. But one of the few things that I found gives people more of a leap in ability is unblocking filaments, chakra filaments, for some reason. So you just imagine all your chakra filaments, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the connections. You have filaments are the connections in between the 7 physical and 7 astral, and just unblock them and repair them, wash everybody out of them. You know, so you can just keep doing that. But it's pretty gradual usually, you know, the ability to be more conscious with your clip. So I hope that makes sense. But I also tend to suggest, like, use all your abilities at the same time, because even once you can see your own energy, there could be plenty of days where you're not that, your vision is more blocked. And so then you want to be able to, that's when you really need to see. So you want to also use your intuition, kind of think, imagine, and also use your hands and feel. Because at first you don't feel when you're using your hands, but over time, then you begin to feel like, whoa. It's like as if you're trying to step on the floor and you think the floor is going to be there and there's a hole there and you're like, whoa. That's the thing. If you like feel the edge of your aura and then all of a sudden you go in, there's nothing there. It's like, you're like, okay, here's the aura. Woo. What is that? It's a big old rip. So it just takes practice, but you can use your imagination, your intuition, your feeling with your hands, and your vision. Just try it all at once, all the time, and just chill out about it and just understand that it takes. Hope that makes sense. Somebody says joining about an hour plus later than your start time. Yes, that I don't even think we started an hour late. I think I wanted to. I was about to, but then it turns out that I had these massive laptop problems for some reason. My laptop and my microphone were like in a battle with each other. Long story, but didn't work out so well. Anyway, yeah, I started about an hour and a half or an hour and 35 minutes after the earliest possible start time, which is the posted start time. So yeah, it was nice and sunny or partly sunny for most of the day. Ooh, that's nice. High of 55 degrees. That's nice. 5 essentials. Thank you, Janet. You're welcome. It says, I wondered how to be at peace with external lack of peace today when I was being blinded by a very bright bike light on the path. Why? Why is also for walking. I thought I can say something and suffer, or I can keep my mouth shut and suffer in silence until the light goes by. I raised my hand and shielded my eyes and waited till the bike went by. Yeah, well, you don't really have to suffer, I mean, the thing is, yeah, you just raised your hand until the thing went by. I mean, I think part of it is, the expectations. So you clear the expectations that someone is going to be considerate. So then you're not so like tied up about it, so you can just wait. If you were to say something, then they might whack you. And so if you feel like, it's worth the whack, then you could go for it. But, sometimes it's just not worth the whack. And so you can just field it. Because the thing is, a lot of people don't really receive that feedback in a constructive way. So it's not like, oh, now they're going to never do that to somebody. They're just going to whack you for about an hour after you tell them off, Besides, if you do that, they'll see that. And, if they were open to the feedback, that would be more than enough feedback for them to realize like, oh, gee, that wasn't so good, So yeah, so the options are not shut up and suffer or say something and suffer. The option is, clear your resistance and your expectations so that you're at peace, and you're shielding your eyes and it's a non-event for you. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, interesting that you were just thinking about all that. Love the waterfall. Reminds me of Multnomah. I don't know how to say that properly. Multnomah waterfalls in Oregon. Yes, I have heard of them. I've never been there, but I'm sure it's gorgeous. He's probably gone now, but somebody from my husband's world showed up on the live stream. Hello. Somebody else says hi, emojis. Someone says, I'm feeling extreme anxiety in general and also about working out at a bigger gym than I'm used to. I feel like my mom is courting my lower tummy area. Is that accurate? Yes, it is. I'm trying to clear her out. My angels really encouraged me to join this bigger gym than the small one I was at. I heard more opportunities. I think so. It seems like the there's a big variety of people. I think you're thinking that's because of dating, that you might date somebody there, but I don't think that's what your angels have in mind. I think for them, it's like there's a bigger diversity of people. So you can clear your matches, clear your matching baggage with like different types of women and different types of men there. And, you know, some of them have issues with their moms too. Some of them have issues with their sleep, you know. So it's like being around a lot of people and working your body awareness and everything. And you can, you know, blow up energy blocks as you're working, you know, bring your angels, have your grounding. I think that's really more of what they have in mind, that it's like a way to grow faster. Not that it's, you know, a bigger dating pool or something. That's not what they meant. I don't know if that's what you think they meant, but I just wanted to make sure, because I don't know, the opportunities thing. They meant more opportunities to clear matches and grow faster. Then someone else says, I felt in tune with the healing until the last 5 minutes when I became very sleepy. Can you draw a picture of where our Wei Qi auras, Wei Qi is 2 words, Wei Qi auras are located, or use AccuDoll? Okay, so all your auras around you like a giant bubble, and you're inside the bubble. Your physical body and your astral body are inside the bubble. So giant bubble all around you. I can't draw 3D, so that's why I demonstrate this way. But okay, so see, this is the edge of AccuDoll's auras all the way around, right? That's the edge of her auras. That's the edge of her auras. That's the only auras that don't end right here are the ones that are whacked to shit, and then they're all ripped up and everything, so they don't come out this far. They're shredded bits, right? So, but if she has all her auras all repaired, they all are bouncy and huge, like a big bubble, and she's inside the big bubble. She's in the middle of the big bubble. They're all around. Make sense? Hopefully. But if not, you can ask a follow-up question. But they're all that big. So hope that makes sense. But that's why I don't bother drawing, because I remember when I used to do individual sessions. This one person had gotten sessions for like years, and I would draw on a dry erase board a lot in individual sessions. And forever, I guess I drew those drawings for her, and she thought, like, you know, because I draw stick figures, you know, and then I draw the circle for the aura around. She thought it was just like literally just around here. She didn't realize it was like a whole sphere all around you. She thought it was just like I don't know, like a little bit to each side, because I was drawing a flat drawing, and she took that literally, that it's just this flat, you know, slice of aura around you. But no, it's a 3D thing. Like, it's all around you, because your chakra is spinning energy all around in that aura layer, you know? So it's like, it's a big bubble. That's the whole point. It's like this surface tension that sort of, you know, keeps people out. You know, it's like you're this big dishwasher inside, you know, all your energy and your life force. Moving and shaking and releasing blocks, growing, getting shit done. All right. Thank you, Jenna. I feel so much lighter than I did pre-healing. I can't pick a favorite. My right thumb feels a lot better too. Was having a lot of joint pain for a while. I've been rejected from every job I've applied to recently, and I am feeling down. Feels like a 4th chakra layer issue. No, I would say repeat that stuff we did, the 2 meridians, because one of them does end in your thumb. End or start? Yeah, end. The lung meridian ends in your thumb. Starts around here, ends in your thumb, and then that flows into the large intestine meridian, which starts in your index finger and ends to your nostrils. And that would help you to release grief, which I think is more of what you're feeling. So, yeah, I would just keep doing that section. I mean, you don't have to use a recording. You could just freestyle. But anyway, you're saying seems like a 4th chakra, 4th layer issue. Yeah, I would say not as much. Let's say work those meridians for clearing grief. You could, if you want, you could read too different past lives where you had employment issues that you have uncleared baggage about. Like you could do a timeline healing, you know, here's you now, here's all your past lives. And what are the past lives where you have uncleared baggage around finding a job, keeping a job, getting a job you want, and that kind of thing. And just, you know, see the big mounds of uncleared baggage around employment and just go ahead and say, angels, help me to only do what's healthy and gentle, check the piles. And then angels, can you recycle any beings hooked into the junk? And then just melt all the piles, you know, and keep doing that. You know, because you could be feeling old grief from past lives, and sometimes that's kind of interesting to clear it that way, timeline healing. So you could do the lung meridian, the large intestine meridian, like we did today, and those w.c.aura, those two w.c.aura, and then also timeline healing to clear past life baggage about jobs and employment, money. I plan to work the techniques for today to help with this rejection feeling too. Yes, good. I think too that zoom out and zoom in thing is interesting, because if you zoom out from your job applying process thing to like, how do you want to change your life? You know, because, okay, you don't know the exact type of job you want to apply for, but how do you want to change your life? Do you want to, you know, live in a different part of the country? Do you want to, you know, be outdoors more? Do you want to garden? Do you want to have different outdoor hobbies? Do you want to eat differently? Do you want to be around a different social and political climate? Do you want to work from home? Do you want to have a flexible work schedule? Do you want to be self-employed eventually? Do you want to, you know, what do you want? Or do you want, and what do you need too? Because sometimes short term you need one thing, but long term you want a different thing. And so thinking about what you need short term, like short term you might need financial stability. Because if you're going to make a big move and maybe if you want to buy a house soon or a condo, you know, you need financial stability. You need to be able to look good to the banks, right? So that could be a different job that you need, like short term, say for the first bunch of years, that you don't need long term, you know, or maybe, you know. So that zoom out, zoom in focus exercise that we did, you know, clearing baggage, so you can adjust your focus and think about the big picture, and then, you know, hone in on specific goals too. I hope that makes sense. Someone says clear grief from lung and large intestine meridians was the part that I enjoyed, especially when you said the meridians can be tight, compressed, holding the grief energy blocks, and also clearing the bottom of the w.c.auras. Yeah. I have been working on gallbladder meridian to relieve some lower neck and abdominal tension to unblock my clairvoyance, working on gallbladder and urinary bladder. Also, you could do the base of skull points. Supposedly, I don't know all the points that would help with clairvoyance, because that's not how I unblocked mine, but the governing vessel meridian, as it passes through that base of skull area, so the midline meridian right there, as it passes through the base of skull, those points are GV, governing vessel 15, 16, and 17. And so 15, 16, those are the two dots that are real close to each other. So 16, that one supposedly helps with clairvoyance. So you could, I like working all 15, 16, and 17 together, but you could especially work gallbladder 16, you know, and then the governing vessel meridian point 16. So governing vessel 16. And then, you know, the whole governing vessel meridian w.c.aura, but especially 16 is supposed to help. So you could add that to the mix. As far as your neck and lower abdominal tension. Oh, I wanted to actually feature a playlist that I made, because there's that 12 meridian playlist, which is all your 12 regular meridians, not including governing vessel and conception vessel meridian. But there is a playlist that I made that's new. They're not my videos, but I group them together in playlists. But hopefully my computer will be able to handle this. I'm trying to pull up the playlist that I made recently. It just has the meridians that go through the back and the neck and the shoulders, which I find is really cool to just work those. Because all 12 plus then the other two, it's a lot to go through all that. But say you want to work your neck and your shoulders and your back, you can just do these. So it's like 2 for the neck and the back, 4 for the shoulders, and 2 for the front of the neck. So I'll link it here in the chat. You can go to my playlist tab on my YouTube channel to find it, but I'll link it here too in the chat. So this is the playlist. That pass through the back, neck, shoulders, and neck, including GV and CV meridian videos. And the funny thing about the GV and the CV meridian videos, they start in the crotch. So the guy who made the videos, he has this close-up view of like the guy's, the hairy acupuncture guy's crotch at the start of the video. So be forewarned. You get a really up close view of his personal areas. Alrighty. But yeah, so I would just add GV16 to that. But in the back of your 6th layer, oddly enough, of your physical or astral, physical, back of your physical 6th layer, you could unblock that more. Like just look at the 6th layer in the back of your physical. I mean, look at the front too, in case something moves around to evade your focus, But I think it's especially blocked in the back, a little on your back left, your physical body 6th layer. All right, I hope that helps. It says break, yes. So it says thank you for the healing. I am feeling a bit under the weather, getting cold, but was still able to feel the after effects. Oh, nice. I'm sorry you're sick. I am mentally more at ease. During the healing, I kept seeing a banner to be nice. I think it's my angels. Yes, it does look like it. Maybe an angry part of me that's been lingering around. I also see a wall between my angels and I, so maybe it's myself. The be nice. It does seem like it's from one of your angels. Yeah. You could use, if you want, I mean, you could use that 12 meridian playlist and see which of those are stuck, but you might not be motivated. Sometimes when you don't feel good, your motivation is like in the toilet. So if you're motivated enough to do just GV and CV, you could do that. Or you could just unblock your grounding and kind of comb through everything, because it seems like because you're sick, or maybe, one created the other, or one contributed. It's like the chicken and the egg, which caused which, but your space seems a little deflated, and a little more blocked than usual. Not as bad as before the healing, that's for sure, but still it seems a little like sort of like a helium balloon when it's like halfway deflated. It's got a little old, So I'm not sure it's because you're leaking. I think you're definitely not leaking now. So I would say it's just more that your chakras are a little blocked and undernourished, and so they're not generating it. The balloon, the balloons of your auras are not inflated enough. Maybe you could do healing flowers for yourself, specialized ones to help you get better. I don't know if you're dehydrated. I know I haven't been drinking enough water in the last couple of days. But if dehydration has a huge effect on everything. Knowing that has not gotten me to be better about it yet, but I'm hoping it finally kicks in with the discipline work that we're doing. But yeah, hydration affects blood pressure, immune system stuff, lymph flow in your body, everything. So I don't know, your angels reminded me of that. So maybe you're not drinking enough water typically. And if you drink things like coffee and alcohol, that dehydrates you because they're diuretics. So then you have to drink even more water. Oh, there's that. So water. I don't think you have a big wall between you and your angels. I think you just kind of run down. You could clear RAD blocks, resistance, avoidance, and denial blocks, because sometimes it's like that's a good way to save energy. Just clear what you've been avoiding. Someone says live stream central with a reference to the fact that I and my husband both are live streamers. That's true. Yeah, we share our webcam and well, he uses his own microphone. He likes his better. But yeah, we share stuff for live streaming. The live streaming couple. We're both YouTube micro famous. Emphasis on the micro. Thanks for the heart emojis. Someone says, I'm doing more art, not a lot, but better. Oh, good for you. That's exciting. I think this is due to my clearing energy. Yes, it does look like that. I think you're not. Yeah, I was gonna mention your parents. You saying I also think my parents are in my space less because I clear them out more often. Yes, quickly than I've in the past. Yeah. I think you're less in denial about it and you're less avoidant. So they'll come in and you'll wash them out. They'll come in and they'll wash you out. And they'll be like, but I want to talk to you about something. And you're like, this is not how you do it. And you wash them out. You just don't indulge it. You're just like, I'm getting too old for this, you just don't play the game anymore. Whereas before you used to be like, but they're so nice, but they've been through a lot, but and you'd leave them there for a day or two and feel like crap, like subconsciously. But now your subconscious is catching up to your conscious desire to not indulge that. And so yeah, good for you. That's exciting. Very exciting. Big turning point. Someone says, hi, thanks for the help. You're welcome. TCM talks about the wind gate on the back of the neck. I still feel, so you're mentioning probably the base of skull points. I still feel invasive beings on my neck. Seems Wei-Chi protection layer 1 or 2 is the special Wei-Chi layer 4 back neck. So I don't number them. I think of them as which meridian they relate to. So maybe you're thinking of them in order that they are in the 12 meridian playlist or something. And so you're thinking about it that way. But yeah, I mean, if you have invasive beings are attracted to leaking energy or, damaged auras, which is also leaking energy. So you just look for any aura damage back there, any blocks, significant blocks. I mean, and again, I would say that I would not think is the primary issue that you have right now. I mean, your path, you could unblock your spiritual path. I think that would be more You want to do what, you know, that expression, getting your bang for your buck, right? So what's the best use of your time and energy? Because if you do stuff that's kind of like, sometimes getting invasive beings out of your space, it's like one of those things where you'd be doing it forever. You know, like I could find invasive beings in the goddamn Dalai Lama space, even though he's like one of the coolest, most evolved, oldest people incarnated at this moment, without a doubt. But, you know, I mean, so if the Dalai Lama has some invasive beings in his space, you know, at all times that he doesn't want there, you know, come on, you know, like, is that really the goal, to get no invasive beings in your space? No, right? It's not. Well, I don't know, maybe it is for you, but it's not for me. You know, I mean, sure, they're in the way and all that, but try to pick your battles, you know, like, yeah, if you have a big issue back there with beings, like, none of your good karma windows are damaged right now. Your governing vessel meridian right there is a little compressed. Your urinary bladder meridian, the yellow lines there, is a little compressed. Your gallbladder one is nice. So you could just unblock the urinary bladder meridian w.c.aura back there behind your head, and the governing vessel meridian w.c.aura back there. You know, just get that compression out of the way, get that cleared. So like right here and right here, in those two w.c.auras, astral and physical right there, aren't so bad. So yeah, you just, those two. But I mean, again, I don't think that's the biggest bang for your buck. I think you get distracted easily by that. You could unblock your spiritual path. I think that could be a big bang for your buck. You could work on unblocking your legs and get more present there, because there's a point at which you can't fully, you know, you're less effective if you're not so present. And here it helps being present, but it's not all there is to it, you know? So I would say back here at this point in time is good enough. So if you can get to this good enough level back here, call it a day, work on other things, you know, work on your legs, work on your, you know, unblocking your first layer around your biker shorts, work on, you know, calling your energy back from your estranged partner, you know, work on, you know, washing your in-laws, you know, her parents out of your space, you know, that kind of thing. You know, I think that kind of stuff is just going to burst you forward with your growth, not like getting every goddamn last being out of the back of your. I hope that makes sense. So learn the power of good enough, basically. Thank you for explaining rips. You're welcome. Makes sense. Thank you. Oh, good. This has felt gloomy before the healing and still feel that way. Will clear 4th chakra and aura, and my intuition says 5th chakra, and on top of my aura is more. Perhaps my mom was whacking. She's ignoring me in real life. She is not whacking you right now. How I imagine that is, I imagine you, and then I imagine her, and if she's whacking you right now, I see her like right here, you know, and then if she's not whacking you right now, I see her far away from you. So it's like a really easy visual trick. Okay, so anyone that's whacking you, I see them like really up close. And okay, if they're up close but they didn't whack you, they just, the auras were already ripped and they waltzed right in. That's the other way that I would see them, right up, you know, in your space, right? But if they're not in your space and they're not whacking you, I see them far away. So it's like really easy for me to, you know, snap. Oh, nope, it's not your mom. Oh, nope, it's not your dad. It's your sister. See, so your sister, definitely. Now, did she create those whacks? No, she just waltzed in once they were made. So who made them? Okay, when it's happening, where's your dad? Nope, he's far away. When it's happening, is it your mom? Yeah, okay, so she whacked you. The whacks are still there, and then your sister waltzed in and your mom walked off. So that's how we get the, you know, what happened first and what happened second. First, your mom whacked you a bunch. A lot of that was healed by the healing, but she's only halfway out, you know, your sister. So your mom whacked, made the rips, and then your sister waltzed back in and your mom walked off in a huff. The joy of genetic families. Some people have a lot of joy in their genetic family. Not I. in this life. Last life was really nice. So, you know, you gotta have variety. You learn. But anyway, last life was very nice for genetic family for me. Very, very, very nice. I would say though, you were one of my sample people for the grief stuff, the meridian, the large intestine and lung meridian work that we did. So I would definitely keep redoing that if you want. You know, use your own intuition. Think of how often you need to repeat it. You know, and you could even just do it as rivers. You know, but it seems like I think the clearing expectations part helped you a lot. But you don't need more of that at the moment. You could repeat the unblocking tree trunk stuff we did in the grounding section. Today in grounding, we did grounding plus unblocking tree trunk areas. So that's a nice one. You could keep doing that one. But then the clearing grief, the lung meridian and the large intestine meridian that ends around the nose. You could redo those two because those two meridians help with releasing grief. Now, which auras are still not repaired? Because we did aura repair, obviously, in the healing. Astral physical is fine. Finding which ones is kind of annoying. Let's see. It's like your left side and front and back. Your right side is better than your. It's mostly your left side. In front and back and side. Like a gallbladder meridian, w.c.aura. I would say that's the biggest one that needs help. So because I knew that, I mean, I'm going to check, okay, astral and physical body auras, but those aren't still whacked. So it's the, but then I think of, okay, well, what meridian goes down the side, goes in this area along the side, and that's the gallbladder meridian is sort of the one that most jumps to my mind about going down the side of the body. So that's, then I double checked, and sure enough, your gallbladder w.c.aura is all scooped out. Gallbladder meridian helps with self-assertiveness. Your mom might have a little problem with your self-assertiveness. So yeah, just repair that one w.c.aura. The gallbladder meridian w.c.aura, the one that's bashed in your left side. But you don't have to know which one it is. I just, you know, geeky stuff. It's nice to know. But you can just imagine whichever auras are messed up and repair them. It says, you said it right, multnomah. Oh, good. We have a lot of interesting names in Washington State. It says, I did think more dating. Ah, that's funny. Yeah, your angels are like, no, dear. It's not all about dating. I wish I knew that when I was younger. I was telling my husband Lorenzo recently, that's one thing, you know, if I could travel back and tell my younger self that I slept around a lot, and I don't regret sleeping, you know, having as much sex as I did. I definitely don't regret that. But I wish I was choosier with my partners. And I wish that I didn't have so much focus on the sex and the socializing, and I wish I had more focus on like personal long-term goals, like specific physical fitness goals, or specific hobbies that would pay off in the future, you know, like saving up for a mortgage, or, you know, or even just a hobby that was fun, but that actually like turned into something like learning a language. Then I could travel to that country, or, you know, different, like more demanding goals rather than just, okay, work, earn money, and then think about guys and sex a lot, you know? I mean, I did meditate and all that, and I did focus a lot on energy healing and reading and all that. So that was time well spent. But I sunk a lot of time into this, the whole sex love thing. A lot of energy, and I didn't even pick the right people. So it was like a lot of drama. Wish I hadn't done that. Someone says, I just tried to clear my parents out of my space. So I could timestamp that whole thing I just said. Maybe. I don't know if I can. Let me see. Let's see if I can. No, I still can't. Let's see. No, it's not going to let me do anything. Yeah, something is really wrong with my live streaming. Oh well, I'm going to just keep going and not try to make banners. I don't want to upset this computer. Someone says, I just tried to clear my parents out of my space. Feel like a knot loosened up from my stomach. Rockstar. Good for you. So then you could kind of do your tummy meridians extra, kind of run with that. Sometimes a newbie asked me this in email and I didn't get a chance to answer her back, but it's like, if you feel, sometimes you clear somebody out of your space, or you do some technique and then you feel something somewhere. Sometimes it's a distraction, but a lot of times it's like you can kind of go with that and be like, oh, let me clear more. So let me clear my tummy meridians and my auras in front of my tummy more. It's like you can be inspired by what you feel as you are clearing energy and healing. It's not, because she was a newbie, and so I think she was kind of like puzzled, like, why do I feel something around my neck when I'm grounding? But it could be that you get more present and then you feel, some blocks that have always been there and maybe a hard object. And so then you can work more on that area. So it's common, and that's why I like freestyling when I meditate rather than meditating to a video. But if I did meditate to a video, I'd probably stop and take breaks and, do little detours and stuff sometimes. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. But that's cool. Good for you. Someone says, I forgot about the healing and went to yoga. Oh, very cool. Came out feeling extra relaxed. Good combo. Someone says, hi, Janet. A colleague called me tonight to tell me that it's chaos in my former classroom. I'm very curious about my total lack of guilt about that. That's awesome. Congratulations. Have I been so successful with clearing and healing? Yeah, I think, but what's with the disappearance of my wallet with my driver's license? I might have been tempted to go to the school tomorrow to help if I could drive legally. LOL. Oh, isn't that funny? Yeah, your angels are barring the door. Yeah, I think, well, sometimes when you're done, you're done. I don't know if you're officially, did you already have your last day? I don't know about that, but I guess since you said it's your former classroom, then you are officially retired. So congratulations. Woohoo. I'll try to do no, I'm not going to try to do glitter because it might upset my computer. Oh, good for you. But yeah, I think you just, you have lack of guilt because you've cleared the karma and it's not your job anymore. There are a lot of chaotic classrooms in Chicago. This is just one of them. So, yeah. Yeah, I think your angels are only going to give you back your wallet when they feel you need it. So it says, thanks for your reply. It does make sense, though it is intense on the back of my neck, so it is distracting. Yeah, that doesn't add up. Something distracts you and gets you focused there. Like what about unblocking the front of your sinuses? Because I think you're being distracted and diverted back there. Because I mean, you're good enough back there. Like in the front, you have a lot coming at you right in your sinuses. Let me see if I could pull up the sinus side without my computer totally freaking out. Sinuses. Actually, I would, if I was looking at you and all that, I would just unblock more in front there, front of your sinuses. And then also, you look in the face, you know, so like urinary bladder meridian, w.c.'aura right there is actually kind of whacked right front. Your big missing gap in your urinary bladder meridian, w.c.'aura that didn't get healed. Like you have a couple invasive beings just kind of holding the space. So just ask your angels to recycle any invasive beings that are in the way, and then get the gold light really deep in there. So throw that out. Throw out your urinary bladder meridian, w.c.'aura, and then your stomach meridian, w.c.'aura. You can double. Yeah, that's whack too. But I think when I'm looking at it, it's really the front of your face, and the intensity comes from there. You may be feeling it in the back, but it's the front that is actually damaged considerably. So yeah, stomach meridian, w.c.'aura, urinary bladder meridian, w.c.'aura, astral body, even astral body aura in the front there, right in front of your, from neck to front of your head is scooped out, whacked. Your physical body aura is healed up there. So it's urinary bladder meridian, w.c.'aura, stomach meridian, w.c.'aura, and then the astral body, w.c.'aura, astral body aura. But you can just imagine all the auras that are ripped up in front of your face and neck. And then you just get the invasive beings out of the way and grow them back and work on, you know, getting safer there. I don't see the back as being that unsafe, you know. And then you're not in your legs enough. So, you know, that of course is important because it's all ripped up. But your major chakras in front seem still fine. So then after that, I would work on your legs, getting more in there. Thank you for reply. It does make sense. Blah, blah, blah. Be it as it may, I can focus on the other things you mentioned. Your message is consistent. I will change my focus even though it is distracting. My intuition says somewhere else needs healing that is leaky, maybe what you mentioned. By the way, today you got some good jokes in. Thank you. Glad you like my stuff, my blathering on. It says, I definitely take a bunch of breaks when I meditate to a video. Good to know. That's pretty normal. It's normal for me. I don't know. Normal. What's normal? But yeah, like that that playlist that I linked in the chat, the one that just has the meridians for the back and the shoulders and the front of the neck, the back and back of the neck and the shoulder. That I can't do that one just all the way, the whole playlist, without stopping a couple times at least and redoing part, you know. Because if I find a part that's messed up, then it like takes me a little bit of time to, you know, fix it. Then I'll restart that video and you know, oh nope, still more, you know, and then I might restart that video a couple times for that particular meridian. So yeah, stopping and starting is fine. Okay, welp. Another gargantuan live stream, which again is a reminder that I will not be doing a chat, post-healing chat on Wednesday. And hopefully I will try to fix whatever argument my laptop is having with itself before Sunday. We'll see how lucky I am, but I will try. All right, guys. So you're amazing. And I will, yay, some confetti for how fabulous you are. You're amazing. Take care. I would put my website address down there, but I don't think my laptop will let me. Yeah, it's not going to let me. So my website address is jwhealing.com, just like the YouTube channel, jwhealing.com. And on there you could purchase, if you want, the next set this month, the November twin set, which is on the same theme of discipline and taking positive, consistent action towards your goals. And then next month is confidence and intuition, and I think something else cool too. But that's December's healings. So that's on my website, jwhealing.com. And and just a note, if you're still listening, those healing sets through the end of the year are selling faster than usual. So just a heads up. I know for a while when I added numbers on, it took longer for the sets to sell out. So that was kind of relaxing for everybody. People could procrastinate and buy them later and later. But for whatever reason, they're selling faster than they were, like just as of a week or two ago. So just heads up. Because I don't think I'll be able to add more numbers. I think it's when they sell out, that'll be it. Through the end of the year. Okay. You're so amazing. Bye. Thank you. Bye.